talking for no reason.
It makes no difference. We can do it all again.
Do you mean do it all again?
We'll do it all again. We'll pretend we didn't ask any of them questions. Mate, I'm with you all night, mate. Don't worry about it.
You know how much thinking using in my brain at me. See, that sentence didn't even make sense.
Mate, it doesn't matter. Just get us live. We'll be fine.
Oh, God.
You'll be fine. Don't worry.
Let's plug my laptop in.
You need to be live. Well, don't need to be live. We can carry on doing what we're doing. Right, you're live now. You're live now.
The not being live won't help on my 52-hour live stint, would it? And I bet you're going to ask why it's a 52-hour stint.
It doesn't normally do it, but it's okay.
That'd be a good question.
Still there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Can I mute? That's it. Unmute StreamYard. I put StreamYard in mute as well. Sorry, bro.
It's all right. So the reason it's 52-hour, that we were just discussing before I realised I hadn't pressed go live, is because I was half asleep when I decided to do it, which were only about 3 days ago. And I figured I'd do 1 hour for every year the NHS has been around, which I figured was 52 years, until a couple of days later when I worked it out and I realised it's not, it's 72 years. Yeah. So now it's kind of good because it sounds better than 48 hours. Because it sounds like 3 days. It's only 4 hours more, but it sounds like 3 days. Until you work it out and realise it's just 2 days.
So what time do you finish tomorrow?
4 o'clock. But here's the thing, I'm split because my brain's kind of going, well, I don't want to go to bed at 4 o'clock in the afternoon anyway. So I'm going to go carry on up until bedtime. But then our lass is not going to like that because she's going to want to spend some time with me. And I want to spend some time with her. I'm really dying for a shower. So it's going to get to 4
earlier. So could you not have took the phone in the shower? Not showing your modesties. Couldn't you not get in the shower?
I did consider that. But especially how I feel at the minute, it had gone wrong. Everything's gone wrong in the last couple of hours. Never mind taking my phone into a room that's wet and steamy.
Mate, it happens. I do loads and loads of live shows. Honestly, bro, it happens. I've had a live show tonight with Proper Coils. He's from Ireland. So we did a bit of a test with me, Flat Cap, and Sulphur Vapor. Completely, his microphone sodded up. Everything else was working lovely, but everything didn't go to plan, mate.
That's the beauty of doing things live.
Mate, do you know what? You've got 1,000.
There's a difference. There's been doing things live and things going wrong, and then there's doing things live in a shower after not sleeping for 30 hours. There's a big difference here.
Yeah, let's get it on.
I have been very careful of not trying to talk because I've got a massive problem of letting my mouth run. And obviously, for what I'm doing the live for, it's fundraiser for the NHS because of the coronavirus. And I'm a very politically minded person. It's not about upsetting my viewers. I don't really care whether my opinions offend people. I don't want my video to become a political argument with people. So I've been like, right, you just don't talk about shit.
Me personally, I think you should be able to say what you want to feel.
I do, but I also felt that, because like I said, the reason for the activities throughout the videos has been to keep people engaged, keep their minds off it and everything else. So getting in a full-on argument and brawl on YouTube about coronavirus and politics behind it really wouldn't help.
Yeah, you don't want to do it. Yeah, obviously, our paths have never crossed. How long have you been reviewing?
9 months, 11 months. It's my 1 year anniversary in a week today, on the 30th of April. See, I was saying this earlier. I've picked the worst week to do this because I've got a printing company as well. That's why I've already got merch. I thought, sorry.
Oh, wicked! What sort of like t-shirts and stuff?
I can do t-shirts, mugs, phone cases, pretty much anything.
I'm sat down there at Teespring for nothing.
So I've got t-shirts to print and send out, which I won't be able to do till Friday because I can't get to shop because I'm not driving, and my car's about to break as well. Turbo's gone, so driving that, especially when tired, wouldn't be a good idea.
So can you actually, like give us the, like on Teespring, can you actually give us that front where you can actually design it? Could you actually give us that bit and then send it to you? Or
yeah. I need to change the website, but currently at vapemill.co.uk/VMP, there's the actual 3D studio where you can design things. Not all those products are on there yet, because like I said, it needs moving over to VM print. But yeah, that sort of interface is already on the website. I could do bar mats and everything. Yeah. I'm currently upgrading my hardware as well in the next couple of months. So
you've obviously heard of Flat Cap Vapor, haven't you?
I have indeed. I've never met him. The main reason I know of Flat Cap is through Easy Click, because we both do written reviews for Easy Click. It seems like
Solo reviews.
Heard the name, but no, not really.
Yeah, he's my brother. Obviously, I don't think you've ever known me, who I am, or anything about me.
No.
Same as you, and it was just like we sort of come across, and it was like I'll tell you what it was, Blazing Vapes.
Oh yeah,
he's coming on my show next week, and I just come over and watched you for like literally about 10 minutes. I proper liked you because you're a Yorkshire lad.
Oh, thank you.
Honestly, mate, proper liked you. I just like the way you were talking. It was like another Yorkshire lad, and I proper liked it. And I hope after all this, you can come on my show, 3 Men in a Vape Show. I start on the UK vape shows, with Vic Mullins.
Yeah.
I'm the new caster on there tomorrow from 9 o'clock. But yeah, I'd on my show on a Wednesday, I'd love to get you on. After this, you're proper like my type of lad.
Well, thank you. Yeah, but to be fair, the really strange thing is, I mean, when I started doing reviews, I opened Vape Mill the shop in beginning of April last year. And I thought, I didn't even know vape reviews were as big as they are. I just thought, I'm going to do a vape review channel. It'll be better exposure for shop. And now the
shop. So you've got a shop as well?
Yeah, it's only a little shop. But now that I do the vape reviews, that gets a lot more of my attention than the actual shop does.
Is it an online shop or your walk-in shop?
It's a walk-in shop. I try and get everything to change. But the hardware, once it's sold, I'll buy one. When it's sold, I'll buy something different. So it's constantly evolving. There's stuff like the Freemax Twister that I'll constantly stock in because it's a great seller. And for someone that wants the first direct-to-lung kit, it's a pretty decent kit. Apart from the internal battery, I can't stand internal battery systems.
So, what would you, if you were actually sat down there in your shop and you wanted somebody to a mouth to lung who's just coming off the cigarettes, what would you give them?
It's Node. I've got quite a simple strategy for this. There's the Node and there's the Twister. Everything else changes, including the liquids. I've got a fixed range, obviously, but and it's quite simple. You walk in, you get the Node or the Vicini X. But I try and push people towards the Node. It's 20 quid, 25 quid. You want 20 milligram nic salts. I'm going to ask you how much you smoke first, but you're going to generally be on 20 milligram nic salts. And people say, yeah, but if you only smoke 5 a day, they want less. No, they want 20 milligram because as soon as they put on it, it's straight in there. Yeah, but nic salts might not be as good for you. I don't give a shit. All you're going to do, smoke nic salts for a week. Then we're going to find you a normal free-based 9 milligram nicotine and you're off. But the first week you need 20 milligram nic salt. I don't care how much, unless you're going straight onto sub-ohm. I mean, because I couldn't have quit with a pod system when I first quit. I can do pods now. I know it's a pod mod, but I can quite happily go out and have a pod. But you want, yeah, it is. What did you say? PM80, yeah.
PM80.
I thought you said RPM80. I'm like, no. Yeah, Vaporesso.
Vaporesso.
Indeed it is. I quite like it. The pod's a bit loose at times. It fits nicely, but every now and again, it's just doing it now. Look, check out Miser. But you press it again, it'll work.
Which way have you got the coils?
Probably the wrong way.
Yeah, you need them at 12 and 6.
Ah, how do I did play with
if you're having them at like 9 and 3, it doesn't work. You'll get leakage. You need them at 12 and 6.
Happy days. Did it tell you that in the manual? Do you know?
No. But if you're reviewing, I'll review it. So I'll review for Vaporesso. You need them at 12 and 6. I messed it up and had to do an extra video. First time in my life, I had to do an extra video. They got in touch with me and said, "You've told us the wrong way." So I had to do a video going, "Look, I'm so sorry. I have messed it up. You have to do it 12 and 6.
It actually fits in now, but one of them, because this is for review on Tuesday, and I were going to say it doesn't fit in properly. And it does now. And if you look at it ever so slightly, there's a very, very slight flat edge on them sides, isn't there? Yeah. Good call.
12 and 6.
I would have probably never noticed that without you pointing it out.
Oh, that's what we're all here for. That's what we're all here for.
So, like I says, I opened the shop. Then I did the vape channel for that. And actually, the smoke node was the first thing I reviewed as well. And still to this day, I don't really watch vape reviews. I never knew it were a thing. Then I watched Zophie, and I still watch some more. I mean, I don't just go on and comment on people's videos. I do actually, even if I just flick through it. But if I generally comment on a video, I'll watch through. And I try to. Obviously, like I said, I've got the vape shop. I've got the printing business. I'm quite busy. But I do whenever I've got time, especially if I've been talking to someone that week, I'll try and pop on, watch one or two of the videos and drop a comment. So I do watch more vape reviews these days, but I'd never watched vape reviews in past. I never watched any sort of YouTube review. And I was just doing it to try and get exposure to the shop. And all of a sudden I'm kind of going, well, I've got 1,200 subscribers in a year. And I think I got 1,000 subscribers in 7 months. And I'm not naive. That's generally because I give them away after I've used them. But that's because I don't want a shelf. I always kind of went, well, like my V-God dripper, no matter how many ideas you give me, if it's either going to be as good as that or better. If it's as good as that, if it's going to be worse than that, then I won't use it again. It's going to be as good as that, then I'll just end up using the new one because what's the point in switching back to that one when I'm already using the new one? Or it's going to be better. The point being is I'll only ever be using one. So why would I want a full shelf for RDAs if I'm only ever going to use one, if you know what I mean? I'm not a type of mood guy. It's just this is my lot. And the best thing about reviewing is I'm going to use something different next week anyway. The week after I'll be using something different. So if the shelf's just going to get bigger and bigger, I'm never going to use it. But then I'm looking after it, so I may as well give it away. The only downside of doing that sort of stuff is you feel like you can't batter it as much. I mean, Flat Cat Vapor reviewed the Aegis X, and he took it on the skate park and let him batter it and get it a proper review. And I did look at that and thought, shit, I really wouldn't have done that. That were hats off to him. That were proper, well thought through and well executed.
That was a little bit like Jay Hayes. If you watch Jay Hayes,
Jay Hayes, no,
yeah, he's an American reviewer. That's what he does. He takes stuff out and he hits them with sledgehammers. Yeah,
someone was telling me that Bogan did it with one of his new ones. He took it up on a drone. On one of his products, he took it up on a drone in different stages and tipped it to see how high it could go before it break. But to be fair, with the Aegises, you have to do that because they're supposed to be shockproof. So you want to know how shockproof they are.
Yeah, we've had them run over by Subarus and all sorts when they first came out.
Yeah, exactly. It's the Top Gear kind of thing, isn't it? Even if it's not going to happen, you still want to know if it can happen. So
Flat Cap is obviously I do a show. We've just done a show tonight, 3 Men and a Vape show. He's one of the he's sort of up and coming. He hasn't been around a long time, but he is one of the most corking reviewers you will see. Yeah, if you look at his new reviews as well, he's been doing like a bit like his brother and then him, with a green screen.
Yeah. No, I kind of get what you mean though, and yeah, he's been around about the same amount of time as me. I think he's first uploaded in January. I watched because I'm not a competitive type of person, and I like how people are. I think it's Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, that says you should only compete against yourself. I like that sort of stuff, but at the same point, you've got to look what everyone else is doing.
Do you like your wrestling?
Not particularly. I used to when I was a kid. I used to love The Rock.
Yeah, I still like it now.
Me and my cousin. I can remember me and my cousin fighting on bed. He used to be obsessed with Stone Cold Steve Austin, and I always used to be Rock, and he'd get pillared. Yeah.
Obviously, you're a bit younger than me. I was sat down there with like Hulk Hogan, Rowdy Piper, Macho Man Randy Savage, and my ultimate favorite, the Undertaker. I'm still trying to pull his ass out of bed now. Fucking still go for it.
Yeah, the Undertaker. I'm 25, so I mean, like Hulk Hogan was generally guest appearance whenever I saw Hulk Hogan. He's just an old guy to me. Hulk Hogan's a bit like you effing with me. They're just old people that make guest appearances every now and again in places.
He is, yeah. He looks so wrinkly, doesn't
he? Yeah.
He's like your granny and that. Are you into football?
I'm not really, no. If I had to support a team, it'd be Sheffield United. Obviously, I'm a Sheffield lad.
They're doing so well as well this year.
They are as well, yeah. Oh, they were. They're not doing very well at the minute, are they? Nobody is.
Well, I'm a Liverpool fan, and I've waited 30 years for him to win this. It's all shut up. Where do you live in Sheffield?
Where?
Yeah, where are you from?
Oh dear. Akenthorpe, Aston, Treaton. There's another one. Burley. Akenthorpe, Treaton, Aston. A few places, all generally on the Rotherham border. But it were Sheffield. It were always on the Sheffield side. That's quite important to distinguish. From Rotherham and Sheffield. And Tinsley as well, which is just decided.
I was a singer for 20 years, and my agent was Alan Wood. He was from Ecclesfield. But I did all the clubs all the way around Sheffield and everywhere.
Sounds familiar, Alan Wood, for some reason.
You're not far away from me. We're in Bentley. You're not far away from me, brother. I just knew your accent. You know how you were when I was like, he's on my way, and down Yorkshire way.
Yeah. But my accent's a bit strange. People always. I mean, I can remember being in Fairways, a pub in. It's kind of Tinsley.
It's on the corner, isn't it?
It's on a T junction. Yeah. And I was talking to someone in there that were from round there. We just never met each other before. And he says, "Oh, where are you from? Ireland." What? And it's always happened. People have said Wales. And when I was 18, I used to do event security, and people used to say some strange and bizarre places. I'm like, "No, I'm just from Sheffield." And I think it's because I pick up on dialects. I've always done it. No matter who I'm talking to, I'll walk away talking like them. It'll take me a couple of hours to get back out of that, which is bad. I don't do it as much now I'm a bit older, but it's really bad because you can stop mocking somebody in purpose. And there's nothing worse than talking to someone with a deep Jamaican accent, and you as an 18-year-old lad starts talking like that. I mean, you're not trying to be cool. You're just being influenced without even realizing it. I'm not not easily influenced apart from my accents.
Yeah.
I do seem to have a really deep Yorkshire accent, as if I'm from the North Yorkshire or something. But
I'm originally from Arworth. Obviously, you're in Nottingham now. I'm originally from Berkhouse, Arworth, and I get that sort of Nottingham I get that sort of. I played for Mansfield Town when I was younger as a goalkeeper. So I have that sort of side, and then coming back into Doncaster, where I was born at Donny Royal Infirmary, but I don't quite have that Yorkshire twangy that they have. But you've actually got that D-Dar thing, though, haven't you?
No.
I think you have. I think you've got that. Not like. I don't know. You've got that thick. It's that. No, I don't mean thick, but I mean that thick Yorkshire accent.
I always say I'm not a D-Dar, I'm a V-Var. Get that car off my car park now.
You look like you're in Barnsley.
But D-Dar.
You know, if you sat at Pheasant, have you been to Pheasant?
It's I don't know what they're talking about. It's not.
That's right, Kid Arkin. That's the way it works, isn't it?
Oh dear.
So obviously you've been like a year with like Flat Cap. Obviously he does a lot with EC Click. He's sort of come more prominent on the YouTube sort of side of it over the last year and a half. I've not seen so much of you.
That's because I've just got a lot of people who want free giveaways.
You're a little bit like Cart Vapor.
There was a stage I realised when we went to the Vapor Expo. No, it weren't October. It was January, I think. The first one in London.
October.
No, they did one in London. It was a washout.
This January, just gone. January just gone.
Yeah.
I was supposed to have gone to that, but I didn't go.
Well, I met Jay Jupiter down there, and he's a cool lad if you've ever heard of him. So we're down there, and I got this sense of this is the reason I'm a vapor. This is the reason I do reviews, and this is why the reason I love doing reviews. It's an awesome industry to be in for getting the big tobacco side of things. I mean, even the big tobacco companies are starting to be quite decent companies. So you're like, well, it sparks something, if you know what I mean. I seem to be at a point where I was just rushing for reviews. And this is why I hadn't done a review for the last 2 weeks. I was going to review the Drop Dead by Hell Vape. And I thought, it came out 2 years ago. I'm just doing a review for the sake of doing a review. That's not what people want to watch. I mean, I may as well just give it away. So I just give it away. So I've been doing the live lock-ins, yet again, just to keep people active, keep people talking.
Just while you're saying that, can I just ask you a question of why do you review?
I don't know anymore. Like I said, the original idea was to create exposure for the shop, but now the shop's more of a base for my reviews, if you know what I mean. I don't know if you've watched one of my reviews, but I do it at the side of the brick wall that's half plaster chipped, and that's become iconic. Whenever I set up to do a review at home, I think I need my brick wall back. Even though it's not behind me, it's inside of me, it's still a part of it, you know what I mean? And then at the back wall, you've got the stickers that I've collected this year.
Bro, you should be sat down there. Your answer should have been, is that you are there to stop people getting off the stinkers. So do you know what you're going to say, that you're not going to review, but you gave it away? You should have still reviewed it. And you should have... Yeah, but it might be that you don't get the review straight away or the views, but you're going to put it out there and somebody will watch what you've done and they might go, I'm going to get that one.
Yeah, no, but you just said that my answer should be to get people off the fags, and it's not. Like when someone comes into my shop, they're like, the amount of people that come in and say, well, you know, I smoke when my son's not around and I vape when my son's around. And you're like, well, okay, that's bizarre. You're wasting money and health when you're already spending half the day vaping. But that's what you want to do. Here's what you would do if you wanted to quit. It's really easy. That's the plan we'd implement. You just want to carry on smoking. And it's that freedom. I don't want to be that guy that goes, you shouldn't smoke. I used to hate it when I smoked, and I'm not going to do it to other people. They will succumb to either quitting or vaping. It will happen because the tobacco industry is gone and dying and it's extinct or endangered. If there's a reason I still do reviews, it's because I feel I've done reviews where people have commented and told me I'm wrong for saying it's rubbish because another reviewer said it was good. And I'm going, I'm lying saying it's bad. What have they got to gain from that? They're lying saying it's good. Or we've got a different opinion. And that's why I review, because I know for a fact that my reviews are honest, and people can watch it and say, you say that's good and I think it's crap. And I said, well, to be honest,
let's just roll back to the other bit. Let's just roll back to the other bit. The thing is, people are allowed to dual use. They should never, ever be frowned upon, because every single cigarette that they don't smoke is they're going to keep their health a little bit better. And I don't like this thing where people think that, I'll tell you what, you're dual using, you should be completely, you're not a vapor.
Oh, yeah, no, yeah.
You should be able to dual use and then maybe come off. And like what you said, the first bit that you said to me was about Nick salts, absolute corking, 20 milligram. That's what you sort of need. You need that nicotine hit when you're first coming off of it. And it's all about getting that first device, do you think? Getting that first device right. And then dual use.
I don't know if you've ever noticed it, but the biggest problem the vape industry's got is big tobacco, and especially corner shops and supermarkets, because you walk in there and go out and buy a vape, and you buy a pen, 18 milligram free base nicotine, makes you cough, you chuck it in bin, never going to vape again, but make me cough. There's two blokes that come in my shop, one's retired and one's 54. Both vape since they were kids. They didn't want to smoke since they were kids. They didn't want to vape because it makes you cough. I'm like, no, come here. In 3 months, they've gone from 20 milligram Nick salts down to 6 milligram free base. You know what I mean? And you're going, that's because you went into a crap shop where they don't know what they're on about, and they just give you some high nicotine. You choked on it because the nicotine was burning back of your throat.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? And I think that's some of the entire lot. I want to help. The amount of times I've lost profit in the shop because instead of selling someone a new mod because the charging port's broke, I've sold them a £15 charger. You know what I mean? I'm there to help you, not to make profit on you. It's same for the review.
Mate, I'm liking you more and more.
Oh, it's just simple, innit? Just be straight and be on with it. And in regards to Juul, there are a lot of. It took from I started smoking vaping 7 years ago. And I think with a lot of vapors was that transition where you vape for a year, you smoke for a year, vape for a year. A lot of people that I know have done that, and a lot of people that go 6 months without a fag, have a fag, thinking they can just have one fag, then end up another 6 months. And if you can do that of just have a fag in the morning, a fag at night, that's great. I do also suggest, though, that people get that first week. I've always found that the people that go, I still need that one in the morning, there's a reason they need that one in the morning. And it's quite often because they still go outside to vape. And you're going, why? It doesn't stain your walls. It doesn't make your house smell. If it does make your house smell, it's going to smell of strawberries. And then they go, all right. So they try it. As they're walking downstairs, they have a puff. They put the kettle on, still having a puff, make for brew, then go outside for the fag like they would, have a vape. But because the nicotine's already in the system before they get to that point, they don't need the fag. As these people wait till they get outside, then start vaping.
Please don't ignore it. I'm just trying to share it so we get some people in.
At that point, you're already too late. You've gone too far. Your brain goes, right, we may as well have a fag now because we're at the smoking position. And like I said, and this is what I said at the beginning, if people want to smoke, then that I don't do reviews to get people off fags. Because in order to do that, you're essentially saying, look at this gadget, it's cool. In my eyes, and that's what we don't want to do, because that's when we start attracting the kids and all that. Vaping is an alternative.
No. Let's pull this back. So we're actually, in my eyes, obviously, I've been vaping since 2006. I started off with a cigarette pen, gloop at the end. It cost me about 80 odd quid. I came into the vaping community roughly about 5 years ago. I'm there to stop people from smoking. That's my job. That's what I review for. That's why they send me products out to review. I'm not sat down here to make people carry on smoking.
But I think it depends. If I did some disposable pods, I was at zero nicotine, and I reviewed some 50 milligram disposable pods for easy click. I run it about 3 months. I'm still heavily addicted to nicotine again now from doing them. And if you said to me, why did you review them? Oh, that's because people might want to try them, and they want to know if it's a good vaping experience before they actually come onto vaping, and if it's relative. That, I reviewed that for smokers to get them off fags. If I reviewed a mech mod, which I've never reviewed a mech mod, I've never watched a mech mod review, so I don't know what they're like, but I kind of think
it's a bomb.
Yeah, I mean, so that wouldn't be for to get.
It's one of my sayings, that mate. If anybody watches this, they all know what I'm on about. It's a bomb, mate.
It's a bomb. Explain. I don't. Come on, you got to explain.
My brother, who's solo, he like sort of reviewed. So we had a Christmas show once about 4 years ago, and I was sat there with like a fucking Christmas outfit on, Santa, all drunk. I like a drink, so a little bit drunk, and it's a bomb because if you get somebody who doesn't know what they're on about, and they get a nick in the battery, or they don't build it properly, they don't know the Ohm's law, it's a pipe bomb. That's what it is.
I own 3 mech mods. I refuse to sell them in the shop. Unless someone already has one.
Knows what we're on about.
If you already have one, then I might order them one in. But I don't stock any because I'm not selling it to someone that pretends they know what they're on about. But I have 3, and I use them in the same way that I'd use a pipe if I smoked. In fact, I'd use a pipe vape, and it's just for the looking good. And I've always, I think in the vape industry, there's this stigma of I'm a proper vapor and I know what I'm doing because I use a mech. And in my view, I used to use the 3-cell WIITH vape, and I used to be able to build down to 0.1 ohms and fire it up stupidly high. And that was how at that time I chose to vape. Well, if you build your coils right, no, I didn't want to. I wanted that coil build at that power. Yeah, but no, there's nothing about that. I want the versatility of being able to choose what wattage I want at what time. So I don't think there's anything special about a mech mod. I've got 3. I use them as and when I choose, but I don't think it makes you an extra special vapor just because you take an extra bit of care and attention.
Have you ever tried a slam piece from Purge?
Other what, sorry?
A slam piece from Purge.
No, obviously I know Purges, but slam piece, no.
So it was a vape finder. We were the reviewers for Vape Finder. We went to Olympus in London. And we were testing everything. When the first Horizon Tech tank came out,
all right, yeah,
Falcon, the first time the Falcon came out, and we sort of like tested all of them, and it was like who was going to win everything. And we had the slam piece, and I'll tell you what, every single person when they took that hit, whoa,
yeah,
too much for me. Too much for me. I don't like mech mods.
It's just, I mean, even for the fact that your output drains as you use it, I don't understand why people think it's a better experience. I understand why people think you're more elite, but like I said, just because you use a mech mod doesn't mean you can build coils better than I can. You know what I mean?
I don't build coils if I'm
it's a bit like saying you drive a Ferrari. It's a bit like saying you drive a manual, so I'm a better driver. Just because I've got an automatic car doesn't mean I can drive a manual better than you can. You know what I mean? It's just thinking of that. I think it's a bit ridiculous.
I don't think that the people who use mech mods are thinking that way. I think
I'm not saying that everyone that uses a mech mod thinks like that, but there is definitely a stigma. If you look at forums online about mech mods, there is definitely this whoever uses. And like I say, I'm not saying everyone, but I own them, I use them. I'm not saying everyone that does. I'm not saying if you use it, you're using it to show off.
They do hit. I'll tell you, if you sit down there in RDA on a mech mod and you built it right, you are going to get a lot better taste and a lot better straight hit from a mech mod. Anything that you're going to get. What else are you going to get? Do you think there's anything else you're going to get that's better?
Well, no, this is what I mean. You've got to spend your time to calculate it. I mean, you don't even have to calculate these days because you use apps. I don't know anyone that actually gets a pen and paper out and does the calculation. Everyone uses an app or an online calculator. But surely it's just much easier. I think it's a bit like scooters. A lot of people these days have scooters just because they enjoy them. And if that's the way you're going, or if you prefer to use them, there is a space for mech mods. I keep pushing this. I've got 3, and I do like to use them every now and again. Just like I like to use a pipe, just like people like to use a scooter. It's not the everyday thing, but every now and again on a Sunday when it's nice and sunny, they're going to take the scooter out. But then there is people that use scooters every day, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
My original point was there is a stigma. There is certain people that think they're the best in the rank of vapors because they use a mech mod. And you see them, you can see them at expos where they're sat kind of going push. And you're going,
so if you look at your reviewers, what about Todd? Obviously, you watch Todd?
I've never heard of Todd.
Todd, yeah, these are like the biggest reviewers in the country. So there's Todd, he reviews all the high end stuff. You've heard of Vic Mullins?
Yeah, Vic Vapes.
Vaping with I was saying vaping with CJ. Then he's a little small reviewer. He's a nice lad though. Vaping Biker.
Yeah, I've heard of. Yeah.
Devil Vapor.
Who?
Devil Vapor.
Not so much, no.
Dean, mate, we need to introduce you to these people. They are really, really nice people. Really, really nice people. And I've sent some bobs across. So honestly, they're really nice people.
I was thinking the other month, the other week actually, because I first started my first business when I was 14. And the literally only reason I've never succeeded at anything in life is because of I can do it. I taught myself how to code. I can hack. I can do all that sort of stuff because I taught myself. But I never got anywhere with it because I never went on the forums and met people and got into the groups. And I were thinking last week, yet again, I started sending messages out saying we should do this collab series I'm doing. It's all about interviewing you. We'll have a game. I made the game itself. And then when I messaged everyone and thought, oh, they were a bit far, and dropped it. And it's still on the cards to do, but I was like, no, you need to push. You need to get into these crowds. And it's the same with the printing business and everything else. No matter what business you're in, any entrepreneur will always tell you it's not about what you can do or what you know. It's about the people you surround yourself with. And I'm always found myself in a little corner going, sod off, I'm working. You know what I mean? And then that's where you end up.
The thing about it is, I'm not saying I'm a big reviewer. I'm not even close to being a big reviewer, but I'm around these people, and I do quite a number of live shows. And honestly, I'm an absolute nobody, but I've never heard of you, and you've never heard of me. So I'll tell you what we're definitely going to do is you definitely got to come on my show, 3 Men and a Vape Show, and we'll introduce you to the lads. There's plenty of us that are all really good mates.
Yeah,
part of the vape community who like look after each other and go, look, you do that. There's also people who are in the same sort of business you are, have got shops, so they then give you sort of wholesalers with discounts and stuff. And I'm surprised Flat Cap answered. We did mention you on the show tonight. Please, when you finish this, go on to 3 Men in a Vape Show. We did mention you right at the beginning, and we did give you a shout out and put your link in the show.
Thank you.
No, well, that's what we're here for. And if it'd be lovely to get involved in the community. You're a nice lad. You can tell it all over.
Something I do want to pick up on. You've just said you're nobody, I'm nobody. What I do want to remind you of is you will have subscribers that nobody else has. Rip Triple won't have, Zophie won't have, all the other people you've just mentioned won't have. I mean, I've got someone that is adding me on Facebook. We talk all the time, and he's my subscriber. He doesn't watch anyone else anymore, and he's watched me come up. And you will have people that have been with you since the beginning and are more interested in you than anyone else. Even if they're getting better hardware than you, they're still interested in you, and they want your thing, if you know what I mean. So it doesn't matter if you have 10 subscribers or 1 million subscribers, you will have
ones that mean something.
Someone that's interested in you. Unlike me, I've got 1,000 of 1,200 that just want giveaways, which I'm quite happy with because it's bringing the views in.
You like me something? I'm only sat there on 2,500. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm exactly the same boat as you. There's no difference in subscribers, and the ones that like you and the ones who love you, they're the ones that mean something.
I rushed as fast as I could to get to 1,000. Like I said, I got there in 7 months. And I did kick myself at 7 months, thinking I could have done this in 5 if I'd have put the full effort in. But I very quickly realised that it doesn't matter how many subscribers you've got, because I've now got 1,000 subscribers with 1,000 watch minutes. So I need to focus back onto my content. I need to focus back. You know what I mean? I need to build the channel and not just race for subscribers.
We've got somebody
the entire website, not just vape reviewers, everyone. Don't just race for 1,000 subscribers. If it takes you 10 years, it takes you 10 years. But if it takes you longer to get the subscribers, you'll probably have more of a solid base, and you'll probably get paid more than other people with the same amount of subscribers.
How many are you getting watching your reviews?
Pardon?
How many watching your reviews?
I think I generally get a couple of hundred. My tutorial videos, like on how to WIITH for Biden, and this is what we were saying earlier about being honest with people. I watched a vape review, and I wouldn't name and shame if I knew, but I can't remember who it were. It was someone big, and he opened the Biden Geek Vape and says you can't WIITH it. And I got it. I opened it, and I went, I'm pretty sure we can. And I did a WIITH tutorial. And that's one of my best watched videos, watched videos.
Yeah.
And so I've kind of gone, I need to, so anytime I don't do a review, I always try and do something like that. Like the other week I did how to rebuild a stock coil. And it's just showing them people. I like the how to get inside.
Tetley Man, here's one of mine. I promise I'm not stalking you, Aidan. Tetley Man is one of the best ones in the world, I'll tell you now.
We need to give Katie a shout out because Katie doesn't vape, but she has been on my channel pretty much the entire 52 hours. And she's been struggling kids while she's been doing so. She's supported the fundraising effort 100%, even though she doesn't vape. So there you go, Katie.
Is one of the staunch men of people that follow. Tetley Man, please give him a sub. Is he one of your followers already?
The name doesn't sound familiar.
Tetley Man's an absolute star. Tetley Man, give him a follow for me, bro. Have we got any sub today? Well done, bro. Have we got any link for anything? I couldn't find any link for us to donate.
There is. It is right here.
Tetley, spread it around, mate. He's only up to see how drunk I was.
Yesterday, my donations were at £10, and today they're at 215. So I'm quite happy with that. My target was 100. So I'm quite happy with that. Bearing in mind I didn't start advertising until like 3 days ago, and I didn't do a very good job at advertising it either, really. So,
well, next time we sort it all out, we'll get it all spread out. We'll get you all involved in, lads. I think you'll enjoy it. The majority of the people, Tetley, I'll tell you, they're really nice. Really nice. And you'll have a good giggle. So going away from vaping, I want to talk a little bit more of the ghost stuff, because obviously you sat down there and you've got one of those, is it a PI? What's it called?
Oh, I don't know. EVP, I think we call it.
EVP. So we get that sort of voices through.
Yeah, now I'm completely skeptic. My missus is obsessed with this sort of stuff. She watches all the American shows, she watches all the English shows. And I've accompanied her on Most Haunted experience. I've accompanied her on other tours as well, ghost hunt things. And I don't believe in any of them, especially the ones you have to pay for. But there's things that's on the part 2 at 5 hour 44, I think it is. At some point, my nan that died in December.
I listened to it.
Somebody shouts hello. Somebody shouts Harley. And then she says nan. I'm like, when did you die?
You didn't realise it either, did you? And you went, when did you die? And she told you when she died.
Yeah. And that you can't refute that. But the thing about this app, it's just an Android app. But the way our Android works these days, you can look at the permissions and it has to ask permissions before it can use them. And it doesn't use anything. It doesn't use internet connection. It doesn't use your files. It doesn't use microphone. It doesn't use anything. So when you said to it, right, how many people is there? And it goes 4, 9, 7, 2. But it hasn't been saying numbers previously. Then you're going, well, why are you all of a sudden saying numbers now? Because you can't hear me. I mean, there's something dodgy about that. The reason I've been doing it throughout this is because when you're spending 18 hours a day talking and vaping, your throat gets really sore. So I thought I need something to just chill out. If there's no one watching, I can still just let it tick on. I mean, when you popped up, I was just sat browsing on my laptop, playing away. So when you appear, I can make it look like I'm doing something. And if you watch it after, it slowly stems into just sat watching the EVP.
I'm a massive person who's into this sort of stuff. And my mum passed away. And she always said to me that she'd come back to me. Now, I never got anything. I've never had anything. Anywhere that I've been, I've tried so much to do it. And then when you were speaking about it, because earlier I was doing a thumbnail and I was setting my stuff up while you were in the back, I was talking to you.
Yeah.
To go and get my stuff there. So it was quite interesting.
The strangest thing about my Nanan coming through is we started that EVP with Kia. We did horror stories first, then we went into that. I think it was about 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock we started doing it. And it weren't until about 5 o'clock the next morning that actually happened. And so we had a lot. Bearing in mind, Kate is in Sheffield and I'm in Nottingham. And this voice app kept saying Kate, Kate, Kate. It's on a completely different device, not linked in any way. It's going Kate, Kate, Kate. Then she says, where's Kate's husband? In bed. You know what I mean? You're going, what the hell? So then Katie goes, and it slowly gets quieter and quieter. And then you can't get anything from it. You're asking questions, it doesn't really say out. So then I'm sat on sofa, falling asleep. And the bit of a video where she says, hey, in fact, no, I say, this is a load of crap. And it says, crap. And I go, all right. Well, what's my name? And it says, Harley. And I'm like, whoa, what's cracking off here then?
Keep talking. I'm just changing my lights, bro.
Right. And it's because nothing had happened all night. And then all of a sudden, after 8 hours of nothing happening, something happened. And that's the really weird thing about it. Like I said, I don't believe it. I went on the most haunted experience. I really didn't believe anything that happened there. Very little that did happen. I'm not a believer in that sort of stuff. I'm very open-minded to it. I do believe things occur. I mean, my 2-year-old daughter, changing your lights or turning them off.
Changing your lights off. It'll come back, mate. You're all right.
My 2-year-old daughter used to constantly look. She'd be sat looking at you, laughing at you, and all of a sudden she'd go like that, and she'd start laughing and start playing with something that's not there. And all that sort of stuff, you go, there's got to be something. But like I said, I'm very skeptical of it. I like the logic side. I mean, stuff like deja vu. They reckon it's just the brain going, oh, I remember this. And then because it can't actually find the memory, it keeps telling you this has happened before, this happened before, when it hasn't. I mean, there's always something logical behind it. But every now and again, they're in. And, you know what I mean? It's a bit like extraterrestrial.
That box, then, please.
Pardon?
Can we have a little bit of a go at that box?
Of course we can.
Let's see what happens. I'll tell you what, it'd be lovely if it would come through.
I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm absolutely no expert on this. Like I said, if anything, I'm a...
Me neither, but I tell you what, we sat down here at what time in the morning? And like I promised you, we'll stay down here for at least another couple of hours, bro. I'll not leave you. I'll leave you. I'll tell you what, I'll probably stay till 6, 7 o'clock in the morning with you. You probably get bored of me and get fed up.
Yeah, if you put me to sleep, I'm going to fall out with big style.
It'll be like that, man. It's all right. Mate, as soon as my beer runs out, then I'll probably go to sleep. So we're all...
It's upside down, but you're going to have to cope with it. And like Katie just said, the shower turned on as well. While we was doing the EVP stuff, a shower in her house turned on. So if you start getting weird stuff, it might not be your alcohol.
Sort of weird sound as well, isn't it?
As far as I'm aware, how these work is we've just got like sound banks. I think the proper EVPs use radio waves. And as we flick through radio waves, the spirit's supposed to
go all the way to it.
And
like I always remember the one with Robin Williams when he just passed away.
Like I said, our lass is massively into this sort of stuff. And the guy that designed the art makes spirit box. And apparently started doing it when his daughter died.
Yeah.
Did it to find a way to talk to her. But he's got videos on YouTube. He's called Steve Huff. And he's got videos of this sort of stuff on YouTube where you can hear Michael Jackson's voice.
Yeah, I watched it. It's the exact same person with Robin Williams.
Yeah. I think that's the same video. I don't know. I didn't watch it. I've seen bits of it. Like I say, it's our lass's thing. It's not really something I do.
You said that earlier. It's not your sort of thing. What's being said now?
I can't really take on. Shall we ask some questions? Is there anybody here?
Yeah.
You just pick out words. Anything that you can make eligible is probably something.
They just said dead, though, didn't they?
Yeah, but don't forget that there's a sound bank, so there'll be words like dead that'll probably just appear. And bear in mind, it's an app that people pay for. They'll want something out of it, if you know what I mean.
I find that really, it must be horrible that, people are just proper looking for something, like you've got a dead mum or you've got a dead grandma or anything like that. You sat there looking for that. I want you to be there.
Yeah. But like the thing to remember about this app is it doesn't have any permissions in regards to microphone or files. So, for example, if you download it on your phone, and it said your name, it doesn't know that about you. It hasn't got that from your files or anything like that. It doesn't know your data. It doesn't know anything about you. It's just the app itself with the data bank in it. So if you ask, for example, he said Isabel earlier. So let's see, is Isabel here? Isabel, are you here? Is that little girl here?
Do you know when your grandma was alive? Did she ever say to you that she'll come back to you? Did she ever say to you that I'll come and make sure you're okay or anything like that, or I'll always be there with you?
No, I didn't think so. Me and my nan were really close. She was pretty much a mom to me, my nan. She always been pick me up from school. She taught me how to make cups of teas and everything. I mean, my nan were like, my granddad died when I was very young, about 7. And he was the centre of my heart up until then. And then nan took over. I lived with my nan for a long time as well. So my nan was pretty much everything to me. But no, nothing like I ever said.
My mum always said to me, "Look, I'll always be with you." She passed away. She passed really not in a great way either. It was to do with smoking, snide fags, with lungs full of shit. And me and my brother watched her die like a frog, and it wasn't nice. But my mum always said to me, I was the youngest out of all this, that she'd always be there. So when she passed away, I expected her to be at the end of my bed. I expected her to and she died when I was like in my 30 odd. And I expected her to be at the end of the bed. I expected her she passed away on the on the Saturday. I expected her to be there on a Monday, like a fucking plus or something. She wasn't there. So after the years of she never stopped the grieving, I just actually felt that in myself I actually work out what she meant was the fact of she will always be there by the memories.
Yeah.
So when my kids are out there laughing and joking and certain things are said, and then, like when you were a kid and your grandma was laughing and it comes back, doesn't it? It flushes over you, that sort of thing of.
Yeah. I mean, one that comes in my head is where I'm telling our 13-year-old lad off. And, stop doing that. And I just remember thinking, my dad was an absolute arsehole telling me I have to do the exact same thing, you know what I mean? But it's that sort of thing you're on about.
Yeah. I think that's what it's meant. I don't think it's actually meant that they're going to come back and stick their arms around you, like in a ghostly way. It'd be so lovely. I'll tell you what, I would do anything in my life just to have that 1 minute with my mum sat on a fucking, they were on about like a bench. You sit next to your mum and you could just talk.
Yeah.
Saying that though, could I do with the actual pull away? If you actually sat there and you could talk to him, could you deal with that of gone again?
Yeah, I suppose that'd be twice as bad. You wouldn't be able to pull away, would you? Let's face it. I think that hurt twice the first time. But not for long lasting though. I think it'd hurt more in the moment, but it'd heal a lot quicker.
Tetley was saying there, I think it's a rule they can't make contact as much as we would want. Yeah, I think it's probably a rule. I think they probably sit down there and they're watching over us and certain things happen. I don't know about you, bro, but I would so love to think that you could just have that one bit.
It's a vast thing. I mean, when me and Stefan talk about it, because obviously people, if they could try to contact the other side, there's a chance of demons. But demons only come into it when you think of God and angels and all that. So in order to believe in this and believe in angels, you've also got to believe in God kind of thing. And all that comes down to your belief on it. And like I said, I haven't got a belief in it. I'm just completely open-minded. But the thing is, like, I'll show you.
My personal belief, I don't think you have to believe in God.
This is from Disneyland when we went with my mom, dad, my nan, and everyone else. And that was sat on a living room windowsill for ever since we went, which we're in about 2005-ish. So Lily, my daughter, was 2. It's always been there. So whenever we went round, she'd play with it, said and whatnot. And and when my nan died, we brought it here, and it's sat quite high up. It's probably up to my shoulders. And the other month, Lily says, "I want Mickey." So the kids went to get the teddy Mickey, and she went, "No, I want Mickey." And as she pointed at it, everyone swears that Mickey's head started doing that. And it's that sort of thing that you go, what the hell? And like I said yesterday about the results of this kid are, that's unexplainable. And for somebody like me that would rather find logic in it, like I said, I'm a developer. I understand how that works. So how can the interference happen to make it be able to say Harley? You know what I mean? I don't get that, and my brain doesn't want to accept that because it's not logical. If you get what I mean.
Yeah. No, I'm totally with you, bro. I'm totally with you. I think there's a lot of things that are like unexplainable.
But I think a lot of it's psychological as well. Darren Brown once said, if you don't believe a soul has a picture, because there's that old saying that every time you take a picture of somebody, it captures part of the soul. And Darren Brown says, right, if you don't believe that, it's quite simple. Get a picture of a loved one that's passed and rip it in half. So you can't do it. And that's what the saying means. It captured the soul. That person is now living within that picture.
Yeah.
And like you were saying, I will always be with you because I'm in your memories. And I think that's what's the universal of it. The soul in the picture is because it's a memory. And by ripping it up, you're destroying even more of that soul, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, mate, I tell you what, I'd never thought about it that way, but it is totally. It's like taking a picture of my mum and ripping it. You couldn't do it.
Exactly.
Because it's part of it. And exactly what I was saying before is that she always said that I'll always be with you. It wasn't the fact that she's going to come back, or maybe she would come back. I can't say that she can't, but she's going to come back and sit at the end of your bed every night and say, I love you.
So let's just see if we can get anything for you. Does anybody here know Aidan?
Yes.
I had a yes, man.
I hear the yes.
But to be honest, the entire point of it is what you hear. And I don't want to suggest words that you didn't hear, because if you heard it and I didn't, I'm not right to tell you you're wrong, if you know what I mean.
I heard yes.
Because if you get some satisfaction from hearing something in this that none of us hear, then who we'd take that away from you, if you know what I mean. It's like that memory, it's like that picture. It's in your head, it's your brain. Are you related to Aidan?
That did you said Aidan? Did anybody else hear Aidan?
How do you know Aidan? You said you know Aidan, but how do you know Aidan?
There were some really weird things there, mate. I can't wait to watch this back.
Well, I'll send you a link to download the app. But what I
want to watch this back. I don't think it work in the same way. I think what you're doing there.
What me and Steph usually do if she wants to do a session is I'll put an audio recorder on my phone and then play the app through my phone.
Somebody did say I do.
You can always hear more when you play it back in slow-mo than you can when you hear it in full speed.
Technically, I did. I hear that as well. I do. And she's right as well. As Kate, and I can't breathe.
Does anybody here know Aidan? How do you know Aidan? Are you related to Aidan?
My son. Do you know what you're thinking? You're hearing what you think, innit?
Yeah, that is a big problem with it. It's when you don't expect something to say something and it says it. That's the really freaky moment. And that's the better thing about recording it as well, because then you can go back and say, look, it did definitely say that, or no, it didn't actually say that. You know what I mean?
It did sound like my son, though, didn't it?
Are you related to Aidan?
I hear Aidan as well. Prick as well. I heard prick.
We quite often.
You know me well.
Stop what?
Did you hear that whisper then, son?
I don't know what I said, but it sounded like I do think that's him.
He's fat. Yeah, I am fat.
He's grown a lot.
He's fat. He's fat. Arsehole. I heard arsehole.
I heard I love you.
Yeah, ask Aiden. Ask what Aiden's brother's name is.
You ask. It's me.
What's Aiden's brother's name? They just said Mark, didn't they?
And then it said yeah.
Did anybody else say that in chat? That they said Mark?
Mark Listen. It did just say Mark Listen after while you were talking. What is Aiden's brother called?
Tell him, yeah, Mark.
How many brothers has Aiden got? So your problem with asking number answers, you quite often get, like I said earlier, it'll jump about the numbers.
Said one.
Yeah, I had 1, 3, and then I had 1 again.
Hey, Mark, I've only got one brother, Mark. Yeah. Yes. Oh, that's fucking freaky. Tetley, come on, mate. Tetley, man, that's just mad.
How old are you?
How many sisters have I got?
I heard none.
I've got one sister. One.
I heard either none or 9. I wasn't quite sure what it said.
Yeah, it's all right. We're the following fucking band. That was weird, that with Mark, wasn't it? They actually said Mark.
What phone have you got? Is it Android or Apple?
Android. Do you want my number? Or send it across on message. That's weird, Tetley, mate. Mad, isn't it?
Tetley.
What was saying, Tetley?
Tetley, yeah.
Oh, fucking Tetley, you may gonna have to do a stream, dude. Holly, do you drive?
I do.
I don't drive. Well, I do drive, but I'm banned. But I've always fancied doing My extra, which is urban LBV, I've always wanted to do. You know, like go around and do some bit of.
Oh, LBV is in Little Bro Vapes.
Yeah, urban LBV. I've always fancied doing like some like going around to extra places where you shouldn't go into.
Yeah. I'll obsessed with them videos as well, so she'd have to be tagging along.
Do you still do it?
No, we hadn't done the videos, but she's obsessed with watching them and she wants to do it. So if
is that Katie?
Is what?
Is that Kate who's in chat?
Oh no, that's just someone I went to school with. Not just someone; it's someone I went to school with. My lass is in bed.
Does Kate live near you, or
no? Sheffield.
Well, we're all together. We'll all have to get together and do some sort of like. What was that?
I didn't hear it.
That was Mark, super clear as well. I heard it. I want.
Have you got a message for Aidan?
That sounds like broken cunt. Did that not sound like broken cunt?
I didn't hear that, to be fair.
What did you hear?
To be fair, at this point, being awake, I just zoned in and zone out things. The stream that YouTube deleted, I watched back because I remembered I blacked out. And a lot of it, I would just sat there like that. And I'd open my eyes, look around, and then my eyes would just slowly shut. It was proper weird. It was like watching a zombified version of yourself.
Need knob, man.
To be fair, I had Harley knob.
Cunt. Did you hear cunt? Does that not say cunt? Did you not hear cunt?
Oh.
What did it say? You know, them proper spirit boxes. Obviously, this one's like I tell you, I quite like this sort of stuff. But them spirit boxes that they get,
Yeah.
they're like proper amazing stuff.
I sent you. I've sent you the info for this app, but there's another app that I used last night recording. I just flicked onto it, and that app actually tells you a text, a one-word thing. And yesterday he said Isabel. We went off. And today when we did this session, it actually came forward with an 8-year-old girl called Isabel. So maybe the other app works as well. Katie's got a point, Aidan.
You are right, yeah. I have. Anna, sure, and like, yeah, probably. I'm so sorry about that, Katie. Sometimes it just happens to me.
Like all men, he has a drink and he's got cunt on.
Nose deep, brother, nose deep. What did that just say?
I don't know. I won't even listen, to be honest with you.
You don't listen to it. You're leaving that.
I won't listen to. Like I said, I just keep zoning out. I'm knackered.
Who's there for Harley?
Does anybody here know me? That's a girl or go. Kate says she was now. I quite often get my name wrong. And obviously my name.
Harley's not like a normal name that come out with, is it?
No. Did you see me do the repeat of
He's turning the Mac?
Of a video from earlier? In fact, that might have been what pulled my on the stream that got pulled. I watched. I had the stream on my laptop recording, and then I opened the tab and played that bit back from yesterday's session. So it might have pulled that on a copyright of my own video. Do you reckon that's possible?
Yeah, but you have to check on your YouTube actual bot.
They deleted the video. Because it was a live stream and they cut it off halfway through and deleted it. Dictatorship arsehole. Probably shouldn't say that while I'm streaming on YouTube.
Aiden again. That sounds like Aiden. Arsehole. Yeah, I had Kate as well. If you know Katie, say Katie.
Katie gets a lot of attention from it. The first night we did it, there were lots of activity, especially directed at and as soon as she'd gone, it said bye-bye to her. We stuck around for 5 minutes and then disappeared. And like I said, I didn't get out of them for hours.
She said, no. Say it again. Do you know Katie? Katie.
I sound like no. I would know who.
That was a kid's voice.
Do you know what happens that's really weird? Bear in mind, you can't access your files and you can't access your microphone. You'll hear your voice and other people's voice come out of it. We quite often hear my voice come out of it.
Dude, I've got to go for a wee. Thank you very much.
He said we.
It says you're okay. Cunt again. Did you not hear cunt then? You.
I think you need to get laid, to be fair.
You massive fat prick. If he hates me, come out and said that. Sorry, little bro vapes, you're nothing but a knob. Dude, what are them trousers have you got on?
The Simpsons lazy trousers.
Oh, mate, they're proper good, then. They look like my grandma's curtains.
But nice.
With your mom from 90s, you're a proper raver.
If you hear your voice coming out of it, maybe it's you coming through via a different time. It's a theory to think about with like a sleep. Who's Ian? I think you should knock something over in Aiden's room. Like knock a vape over something. Kit, are you going or did you hear? Who's Ian? That's some next level, deep consideration going on there. Bearing in mind I haven't slept for a day and a half. About 45 hours now. No, it's not 45 hours. About 43 hours. Don't be putting something too deep into my brain. I'll explode.
Hello.
I think other day he went and turned Katie's shower on.
Get your shower on.
Yeah, she was. I don't know what she was doing. But she all of a sudden came back and said my shower's just turned itself on while we're doing one of these. And I think it'd be really awesome.
You're on about a shower, aren't you?
If all your vapes behind you fell off. How much would you shit yourself right then?
If it falls over, bro, I'll pick it back up.
No, you'll shit yourself. While doing a big bang happens behind you, you'd shit yourself.
Mate, if someone went boo, I would shit myself.
If someone behind me said, I'd shit myself right now.
Good, what was that? Have you got a window open?
Nope, all windows and doors shut. Why?
A bit of wafting there, son.
What occurred?
Yeah, a bit of wafting.
There's back here. There's these pictures. It's basically a bit of string hanging down for a bit of. She bought it. She likes buying stuff.
What are the pictures?
It's just kids and our kids, not just random kids.
So I've been taking loads of pictures of kids. You see me powering. Come on, Savile.
It was supposed to be like blocks glued on the bottom, but kids are full of blocks off. So I'll try and get to move them earlier because it was so easy to move them. That looked bloody awesome on camera.
What did that say? Savile what?
Oh, don't. He'll end up on stream next.
Mate, that'd be an amazing stream, that, wouldn't it? Now then.
Imagine the viewership from that. I'm here to fix it. What's the problem?
I fixed it. I'll tell you what, I ain't got a problem with really Jimmy Savile, because obviously when I was a kid, he fixed it for me to milk a cow blindfolded when I was 8.
That was desperate. That was desperate.
Did you just say shit joke?
I won't blame you.
I heard Kev.
While you were at the toilet, he kept saying Ian. Must have said it 3 or 4 times. I had a vape then.
Do you know any Ian?
No, what?
I don't really know an Ian, like in the family, an Ian.
I don't really know anyone called Ian.
Kate Tetley?
I think Kate's gone. She kept saying bye, and I thought she was saying Pat was saying bye, but then she disappeared.
What was that? Carol Basket.
We did it. Our lads asked it earlier, joking about we need to get Don in and ask him who killed him. Carol fucking Baskin.
Fucking bad. Have you watched the actual series?
The what?
Did you watch it? The
documentary. Yeah, we've just finished watching it this week. Actually, we weren't going to watch it, but we know what else on. And I feel sorry for Joe Exotic. I do. The way I view it is, it was just this. He's a bit childish, you know. He thought he was living in a big world. It was little kid's mentality. Quite harmless, but big threats. And they just set him up and took it all off him. That's where I see it through and through. And that Carol fucking Baskin bitch, she's a genius for doing the exact same as everyone else. But we were talking about it yesterday.
He got to a point where he couldn't look after the animals, so I think there were a little bit of neglect of what he were doing. He obviously gave half of the to that other bloke. What is Low or something? But
that was because he needed financial difficulty, but weren't he? Because Carol fucking Baskin were suing him for trademark disputes. So they needed money, and I think they said it was a couple of grand. I think it was like $8,000 that he ended up buying the zoo off him for because it was all of the paperwork, and then they were like, "Yeah, it's my fucking zoo."
He went and burnt everything. The hard drives a lot, didn't he?
Yeah, I think it was set up. It's a bit. It's just a bit strange that everybody that were key to the case came in at the same time as he did. You know what I mean? You go in, and then you say, yeah, but even his colleagues and his friends went against him. Well, yeah, but he's going against these people who are quite easily blackmailed. And say if you don't, we're going to do the same to you. I mean, you don't know what happened.
His ex-husband who were a meth head.
Oh yeah.
Then you had his the other one who said he was the full keeper, and he was a pisshead because you saw the bottle of vodka that they paid him to do the actual interview with.
Yeah.
Never asked anybody else. You got one woman with her arm chewed off, and she was still like, "He's amazing."
Yeah. That was brilliant. That I went straight back to work next day because I didn't want any media hype about it. People are here like drop a file cabinet on the foot and they have a month or so. She had her arm bit off by a line and she's like, nah, I'll come back in this afternoon, I'll be right.
Right. Arthur, I'm on my way in. Put me on for nights, I'll be fine. I know I've got no arm, but it's fine, I'll just push it through with my stump, I'll be fine.
The thing about they put something on his shoe, you kind of think, well, all the other footage suggests that he was fine around the lions. All of a sudden, there's one that's dragging his shoe. You can understand why you think someone's put something on his shoe, you know what I mean?
You've got a dog, haven't you?
Yeah. I'm allergic to dogs, by the way.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, not massively. If I get him and give him a good
punchy.
No, it's fine.
It's a bit like me. It's like my ex-wife. Give her a slap, you're fine. I'm only joking, people.
Now, if I get him, give him a good loving where you get over him, then I'll blister up all over my arms. It's not good.
Is it a Labrador?
He is a Rotty Cross Alsatian. 108 pounds in weight. No, whenever I say someone, what does it matter how much he cost? Not how much he cost, how much he weighs.
The thing about it is, you know yourself. You know if you had something, if you've been around another dog, especially if they've been on heat or anything, they smell you forever, don't they? They won't leave you alone. My kids come from another dog or like that. My dog's like, whoa.
I only have to walk to bin and back and sniff them like mad. But
there was something on them shoes, wasn't there?
Oh yeah. I forgot we're on that topic. So I was about to say the thing with Luca is he likes to stand in your way. No matter what you're doing, he'll get in front of you and stop. Or he'll follow you, knowing that you're going to come back, and then stand looking at you going, what? Am I in your way?
Stand there in front of you.
Yeah. Dickhead.
Does your dog sleep in the same bedroom or?
No, he's downstairs. He's not allowed upstairs.
My dog has his bed next to our bed.
What type of dog you
got? We've got a border collie.
All right.
He can open the door and shut it.
No
word of a lie. I'll show you the video. He can. We've got one of them shut down doors. You know where you push the handle down. So what he can do is he can push the handle down.
Yeah.
And it opens, pulls it, and then when he comes in, he'll push it. But what he can't obviously do is lift the fucking handle up. He can't do that, but he pushes it.
Yeah. Well, look, saying this door here, he pretty much rams it open with his head and comes in. Then we'll, for God's sake, we can shut door. And then he'll practically do the same until it opens, and then opens it. So he's not as smart as to try the door on the rope, but he.
It says, how can you stay up for 45 hours? I have a now job before.
Well, it's going to be more than 45 hours. I think I got up Tuesday at 10 o'clock, and I'll be going to bed at about 10 o'clock on Thursday night. So that's Tuesday, Wednesday, 24 to Thursday, 48 plus 12. So it's going to be 60 hours I'll be up for.
So what time are you finishing on Thursday?
4 o'clock.
What, in the afternoon?
Yeah, 4 o'clock plus. I'm not going to go right.
I can't do on the UK Vape Show, tell you, bro.
Well, like I said, I'm just going to cruise through today. Carry on with the schedule. have some fun. I'm glad I did the schedule. The main reason I did the schedule was so I didn't have to sit there randomly trying to make things up. But it's because I've done it of something to do, rest time for an hour, something to do, rest time for an hour. It's broke it up nicely so that 52 hours have flown by, really, apart from the moments where I was sat dribbling on this end because I felt unconscious.
What did that just say?
But like you said earlier about the shower, I have a shower every night and I feel absolutely rancid because I didn't have one last night or night before because obviously I've been on video for 2 nights. And like you said, I should have just got one, but
Dude, you just plonked it on the side.
But you think I'm a free man, but that's not what my missus thinks. In fact, this light she'll never watch this, so it's all right. She, bearing in mind, like I said, when I came up with the idea, I was half asleep. So I rolled her, I'm like, what about this? She says, yeah, whatever. So next morning I woke up and I went, so 52 hours stream then? Yeah, okay. And then the night before, she's like, you can't do that. It's fucking late now. I told everyone I'm doing it.
I really wish you'd have had this open this afternoon. Or like, I proper want to help you. We're doing bits and bobs on it. I'm not reviewing until next week, so like, I wish you'd have said something. I'd come on and we'd done it all afternoon. If you're on something else, like if you're on like,
well, next time we have a pandemic, we'll be straight on it, won't we?
Yeah, we'll able to have it all on. If you'd done it on Zoom or something like that, we could have brought you into ours.
Yeah.
You could have done the show with us.
I don't mind. It's like I say, my target 100 quid. I did 200. We should say I haven't really done much pushing or planning, apart from my own Facebook page, really. I think it's done pretty all right. And there's more to come as well. There's people that are still pushing for donations. There's a paranormal group that have said they're going to keep pushing for donations for the next month. So hopefully by end of it, we'll have at least 250 quid. And I don't know if you've heard, but I'm also printing the 3D face visors for the NHS as well.
Are you?
Yeah, so I think I've done my bit. So happy days. I've helped enough. Don't ask for any more. I'm tired. I'm going to bed. Leave me alone. Look, that's my big downside. Like I said earlier about the shop, about the YouTube channel, it's all about trying to help. And I supervised my first event at security when I was 18. And the reason I could do that is because I actually cared. And when you care about what you're doing or the people that you're doing it for, you become extremely good at your job. So Land and Sky at Glastonbury, it's a very prestigious campsite. And I was supervising that during the day. And I was the youngest member of staff on that side. And I was supervising it. But then, come forward, I've got back into having businesses. I've got a missus, I've got a daughter on way. And the Manchester Arena terror attack happened. And I've got to go back to security. And that's just how my brain works. I can always remember working with a bloke. I'm not going to name and shame him, but we were both first aid trained, and he'd quite happily take 5 steps back when someone needed first aid because he didn't want to be the one in the spotlight having to do it. And he's
quite you there in the Manchester attacks?
No. I said when that happened, I wanted more than to get back to work at security, especially when there was a report about the person that was working at the top of the gangways or the steps. Apparently they just disappeared. Now the entire point of them stewards is to stop people stampeding, to guide people out, to tell them it's all right, we've got a plan in place, just keep following this way. Then people weren't in danger, but they still disappeared. And that's the difference between someone that wants to do event security for the money, or they want to do it because they want to see the band, and someone that actually cares. don't get me wrong, you're not supposed to put yourself in danger, but at the moment when you need it the most, that's the moment where you're focused and you're ready to go, you know what I mean? So when I see people fucking up like that, I want to help. So pandemic comes and I'm like, I need to help. NHS could we need volunteers. I think I'm going to do that. And then I realise my car's broke, so I can't do that. 3D mask come, I do that. And then I realise everyone's raising money and there's actually a need for money. I think NHS charities together have asked for £1 million, £100 million. And they've currently got about 50 million. So my 250 quid will get put in that pot. And yeah, I mean, I've spent 52 hours non-stop entertaining people, trying to keep them from committing suicide or being lonely. And during that time, I raised some money. I'm putting some face masks, so I've done my bit. And it's, I like the pressure, to be fair. At security, whenever the shit were hard, I liked that moment. So when people admit, like nurses are complaining about how bad things are, that's the moment where I usually shine and people notice it because I'm the one that's going, right, no, stop, this is how we're going to do it. And I'm usually the one that's going, we need to rearrange this and street. I love efficiency. The pub I used to work in, there was an outdoor toilet, and I used to go for my piss in there purely because I could have a fag at the same time. So I was killing two birds with one stone. Proper love efficiency. If I was inefficient, like for example, I don't know, if kids do something like they pick up a knife, take it to the table, then go and get a fork, it really annoys me. Like, that's not efficient. I don't kick off at them, obviously, the kids. And we do stupid things. Pressure, that's really where I thrive and I really want to help. Not to a military zone. I wouldn't want to. I don't look at Afghan and think I need to be there and help. But especially, I think it's when
I'm going to sit down there with a rocket launcher. You know, I'm on my way. I'm on my way.
People have done that for what do you call them, aren't they? ISIS. The one guy, he owned, I think it was a security business. He'd never fired a gun in his life, but he sold his security business and his mansion that had a swimming pool. Used that money to fly over to the border, bought as many guns as he could with the money, learned how to use them via reading books, and joined the Kurds in the fight against ISIS. You know, that is some massive devotion. You've got.
Do you not think it's quite weird though that the Kurds were the actual ones who sat there and fought him?
The Kurds do what? Sorry.
The Kurds, because obviously Kurdistan was a part of Iraq, but they actually wiped that actual country out. It was its own country, Kurdistan. So Iraq actually wiped that out.
I think the world's fucked.
I don't think you're on your own. I think it is. It's obviously we don't want to get massively into political sort of stuff, but if you walk into places like Iraq and then suddenly try to jolly away for your own reasons, you take the power out from where people have had a bit of actual normality and then change it, that's where you've got all this trouble from.
What amazes me is people's views on things. Like, for example, I was saying to people of a month about the current situation. It could be worse. Look at Syria. And people look at, a bit like, for example, Muslims. Growing up in Tinsley, obviously quite a Muslim community. And people, the amount of times someone said to me, well, Muslims are all terrorists. And you're like, well, why don't you say that to all them people in Syria that are currently being blown up by the Taliban and by ISIS? They're Muslims that have been blown up by ISIS. I mean, you don't. It goes a hell of a lot deeper than that. There's different branches, there's different terrorist groups, and all sorts.
Hey, my brother's on. What are you doing up at this time of night? That's my brother, Solo. Bro, what are you doing up at this time of night? So it's 4:45. You're not going to work, bro.
You're not allowed.
No, he's not at work. Bro, you need to come on. That's it. Can't say, get on here, bro.
No.
We're doing a 50. Well, he's doing. Ollie's doing a 52-hour stream for the NHS. I think. How many are you into it?
I've got 12 left to do.
He's got 12 hours left. Come on, bro. My brother's like big review. He's a lot bigger than me. He's actually more nicer than me as well.
Not hard, is it?
It's not hard, no. It's not. But yeah, no, you're totally right. You've got to look back into like how it was.
It's the world's just folks.
I'm downstairs, bro. Jan's asleep. Well, she sleeps upstairs.
My comments were about a minute behind yours.
It all depends. Yeah, you're watching it on your on the actual Streamlabs stream. Get yourself on here, bro. We've been doing a bit of your name's been mentioned as well. That's Mark, my brother. So it was mentioned on that. We've been doing like a spirit box thing. So your name was mentioned on there as well, wasn't it?
It was indeed.
So Tetley Man was on, and they're asking, does anybody know Aiden? And they went, yeah, Aiden. And then they asked, has Aiden got a brother? And then it said Mark.
You'll be able to watch it tomorrow.
You'll be able to watch it, bro. It said Mark. Fucking weird that, though, isn't it? It's not like they said about my brother or like that, or I mentioned the name, and then when it come out with Mark and everybody heard it. Ooh. Easter eggs. Yeah, but it is. It's like one of the things. If you go back into like the 80s and 90s, Iraq was like proper friends with the US.
Yeah.
And then they sent over, because Kuwait all of a sudden started selling oil cheaper than what Iraq did. So Iraq didn't keep their country going. So Iraq, that's where it all came from when Iraq went into Kuwait.
Do you know what really makes me laugh about the world of politics? The media. Like, for example, at the minute, how everyone's going, oh, how come Spain and Italy is in lockdown? We should be able to. Well, Spain, when they started to ease lockdown, which we didn't really start to ease it, but media said they did, they had 4 times more new cases in 24 hours than they did when they went into lockdown. So why would they be easing it? That doesn't make any sense. Where it's 4 times more, 4 times, going 4 times as fast than it were then.
Just say what you just said that again. Just say that what you just said again.
On the day Italy went onto lockdown, compared to the day that Italy, the media said that Italy's easing lockdown, the day they were easing, they had 4 times more cases in the last 24 hours than they did on the day they went into lockdown.
Yeah, we've been looking at that because obviously it's not just it's Italy and Spain have relaxed their.
Well, and now you've got to ask yourself, I don't know where you stand on Brexit, but these countries are fucked economically. They can't afford to be shut. And what people don't seem to understand is a country is a business. A country can go bankrupt. A country owes other countries money and so on and so forth. So they have to have that economy running. They can't, like for example, at the minute, everyone were going, oh, government's not giving us enough money. Well, that's because the government ain't got any money. So whatever it's giving you is having to lend, which we're going to have to pay back for austerity and everything else. Why don't people get this?
Yeah, but you see,
these other countries have got is the bankrupt. So we need to quickly reopen and get the country ready.
What you're saying is Spain and Italy aren't really their own country, are they?
What do you mean by debt? What do you mean?
Well, they're run by the European Parliament.
Yeah.
So they have a euro. They don't have our pound. So they our pound. They don't have our pound. So if they go bankrupt, it's down to the European Union to bail them out. They've got no problem.
I'm anti-EU. I'm not anti-free movement, and I'm not anti-open market. I am anti-EU. And always have been. But bear in mind, I'm only 25. Don't be jealous.
Of course you are.
But
as old as my brother, so more.
And I always said, from the very talk of we're going to have a referendum, I always said, we'll come out, and then the EU will fall. It'll happen. I can remember being at a protest. It must have been about 10 years ago. It must have been about 15, 16. And I met a woman from whenever the Occupy movement were. So I might have been about 16-ish. So Occupy Wall Street and all that. And I were at Occupy St. Paul's. And I met a woman from France. And she was part of the Occupy movement. And she said to me, you don't realise how much of a world still follows Britain's lead. And ever since then, it's resonated. And if you watch the world, they do wait for Britain to step first. Now we've come out of Europe. Europe's gone, right, the money that Britain pays in, we need their fees. We need now to divvy around everyone else because we still need that money. And what wasn't on the BBC and everywhere else were Italy and France and Germany going, we are not paying that much more money. We can't afford to pay that much more money. And it is going to fall. We was one of the biggest, not the only superpower, but we were one of the very few superpowers in the EU. But yet we had a very, very small share in it. It can survive without us, but why would it? Look at 50%. Look at the majority of the countries in there. It's just, and like Nigel Farage said, it now wants its own army and everything else. When you can have a treaty or something that packs the countries together, why would you want an army? It's just all a bit wrong. You've got the article, is it Article 35, Article 34, the censorship article. I am just 100% against what the EU has become and what it's becoming. And
how do you feel? Sorry to interrupt you. As a 25-year-old, how do you feel being called a racist?
I think words like racist and sexist are massively overused these days. I'd quite happily live in another country. And like I said, I'm quite open for free movement, massively. I do believe in some sort of point system. And that's got nothing to do with benefits. It's just, like I said, a country is a business. So you wouldn't take an employee that hasn't got any credentials. You take the employees that have got the highest ranking as you can. And it's not about race or anything else. It's about we are a superpower. We give China tons and tons of aid, which is an all right thing. It's all politics, and it's all about them scratching our back when they get to be a superpower, which was quickly becoming. And it's not for us to decide foreign affairs because we don't know all that. But I think on a political level, unless you're being something like Hitler, I think racism is a word used to try and deter an avenue. Don't forget the actual definition of racism is thinking you're superior to a race. And I generally think we're all equal. I've never looked down on anyone because of the colour or the name or anything like that.
They so great.
But I also don't agree that everyone's equal. I think that is a bad sign of where we've become. A 6-foot man's not equal to a 2-foot man. A woman's not an average woman's not equal to an average man. And to say we're all equal says that we can't be better than each other. I'm not equal to Usain Bolt. You know what I mean? We're not equal, and we should celebrate the indifferences. Just because you're not equal doesn't mean one's better than the other. It means one's better.
Like, basically, what you're saying there is like with the kids now, they don't have a first, second, or third. You all finish first. It's not the way life is. So you're teaching a child That's not what life is. You're either first or you're last.
Yeah.
So you've got to get that sort of competitive thing in you. Look, I really need to try and push further on in my life to get better. Just going back onto your first thing, to do with racism. There is no racism apart from now, and this is my own feeling, is a white man is the one who's getting persecuted. And I don't believe in Black Appreciation Day. And the reason why I don't believe in that is because in my time and my space, there isn't any racism towards blacks because they're exactly the same as me. I bleed the same as them. We get on together. You're the same as me. There's no difference. But the more you actually have to celebrate a race, you're remembering the things that happened over 100 years ago.
Yeah.
That really isn't now today relevant. You can't keep going to me and saying to me it's my fault that the slavery and all that sort of stuff happened. That all got stopped. So you can't keep doing it. You don't have a white. If you can imagine having a White Appreciation Day.
Yeah, but I think, and this is going to be massively controversial, and I really probably shouldn't say it, but I think it's the same with gay pride. I support gay marriage and everything else. Really don't concern me. It's got nothing to do with me. I'm not bothered. But the fact that I also believe people should be allowed to think it's not okay. That's free opinion. You should be allowed to think that. I don't think it, but if you do, that should be fine. You know what I mean? That's your opinion, and that should be okay to have an opinion. These days, you're not allowed to have an opinion on things.
No,
you have to follow the crowd, or you're sexist, racist, whatever.
Can you turn box off? Because it's
yeah. But my point on that is, in countries, because someone said we're not equal yet because you can't get married same sex in this country. Well, that's when the revolution needs to start. It's the LGBT movement. And you're going, yeah, but it's pretty much completed what it needs to in this country. And it's the same as sexism. Over a year, we looked at the most highest paid director, which was a female. The country had a female moniker and a female prime minister. And you're going, and women are going, yeah, but there's not as many women in brewing industry. Have you not thought that's because not as many women want to? You're saying women don't want to be brewers? That's not sexist for me to say that. If it's following statistics, and we've got to a point like you were saying about Black Appreciation Day, that it's got to a point you can't follow statistics because if statistics suggest that 59% of men do that and only 41% of women do that, that's sexist. And
can you see my point though with the Black Appreciation Day that it's actually racist in itself?
Yeah.
Because what you're expecting me to do is tap you on the back and say, well, the black. Sorry, I didn't mean that. It just came out. Tap you on the back and go, well done, you're black. Congratulations, you've got a day after you.
But not having somebody of that background in the conversation, I feel we were a bit underhanded because that person might say that you don't realise how much racism we endure every day. You know what I mean?
I totally agree with what you're saying to you, but it's not exactly the same as any ginger person because we're not sat back down here 100 years ago. There's no slave or all like that. You're all equal to us, the same as a fat bloke like I am, a ginger bloke or a bloke with glasses. It's the same thing. Though it's the same thing. You all got that prejudice. You'll sit down there and he'll call you a fat cunt. You sat down there, you're a fat cunt. What's the difference now to somebody being called a black? That word, which you would never say.
Something that I see as a step forward, but in this day and age is probably seen as a step backwards. There was a movement probably about 10 years ago called Feel Free to Offend Me or Feel Free to Insult me. I think it Feel Free to Offend Me. And it was because the word offend was in the Section 5 of the Public Order Act. So therefore, if I felt offended by anything you did, including the fact that you're fat, if that offended me, I could technically prosecute you for that. So when like Anonymous went against Scientology and that kid held up a sign that said Scientology is a cult, they sued him on the grounds that that was offensive, which is in the Section 5 of the Public Order Act, illegal. And there's other things like there were 12-year-old boy that barked at a dog and got prosecuted for it because the owner was offended because it was a rare breed of dog. And people like Rowan Atkinson backed this. I mean, it's not fair. It's not quantifiable what's offensive and what's not. And I feel we live in a day and age of you can't say something. I'm pretty sure I talked about this on my live stream over the last 40 hours. We've got to a point where, like, for example, freedom of speech. I can't use my freedom of speech if it infringes on your freedom not to be discriminated against. So then you're slowly edging away my freedom of speech. But then you go, yeah, but is freedom of speech also upsets this person? So then there's more. So then eventually you've got freedom of speech as long as you don't actually speak because you're going to offend somebody, or you might be talking too loud, or you know what I mean? So the more we give each other rights, and you see the left that push for the human right, I think the human rights is a terrible thing. There is basic human rights. You should be allowed water, you should be allowed this. But the human right not to be offended, or the human right not to be discriminated against. If we have a huge discrimination problem, like, for example, police shooting people in Ferguson in America, that's a huge discrimination problem. Somebody calling you a faggot is not fattest. Somebody calling you whatever colour skin you are or anything else. And I can always remember saying, I'm not going to say the words because I don't want to get dubbed off around the internet for being racist tomorrow. But I can remember being in a diversity class in school. Like your brother just said, I can't remember who said it. I think it was someone like Johnny Rotten or Joe Strummer. You have a freedom of speech as long as you're not dumb enough to use it. But I were at school in diversity class, and we actually had a diversity class. And she was asking, what do we benefit from? And being a 15-year-old little rebellious get, I said, well, nothing. She said, just put Chinese food. I said, well, no, that's not Chinese. It's westernized. It's not a Chinese meal. And then I said something, but I used an abbreviated name. And she told me to get out. And bearing in mind, I live in Tinsley, which is
I'm going to say, I don't want to fuck your stream up, but you called it a chinky.
No, you're not Chinese.
Or an Indian, which you sit down there and you say, I'm going down there and having an Indian. Well, you wouldn't call it an Indian, would you?
We were talking about Pakistanis. But the point being,
you used to have shops as well. You used to call that, but that's abbreviation of Pakistan.
Exactly. And my teacher kicked me out of my class. And bearing in mind, I lived in Tinsley at the time. So my neighbours to my right were Pakistani. The neighbours to my left were Polish. Neighbours across the road were Pakistani. Neighbours to the back were Pakistani. And when you walk to Meadowhall from Tinsley, there's an underpassage. So while she's outside telling me off for using that word, and I said, what word? And then I said it, and then I got done again for saying it. I explained to her that I walk under that underpassage, and that 4-letter abbreviation is wrote on a light followed by rules. So the word you're telling me not to use, I'm being surrounded by graffiti telling me that they rule. I'm going, you can't tell me not to use that word. And then you go, well, everyone calls Brits. And my point being is it can be racist to say, if I said to you, you fat bastard, then I am being offensive and I am being nasty. Then it's wrong. But if I just say, oh, you fat get, then I'm just saying, oh, even
if you was trying to describe it, he was flat, he was this, so you describe it's the same as the N word. How can we get done for using the N word when that's an actual thing of that race also says all the time? Or then I think
how you use
race or them people, but it's the only way to explain it. Where black people use that N word.
I think it's for how the law should be. I've always said this as a child. The law should have descriptive verses to have why. Because, like, for example, there a little kid that got done and fined because it was his parents got fined because this little 5-year-old ran his push bike with stabilizers down the street on the pavement, which is illegal. And they actually made him get off and walk, or they fined him or something. Either way, the police enforced it. And you go in, that's not what that law's there for. That law's there so me and you can't go down that path at high speed and knock that child over.
Yeah.
But when you say, right, that word's racist if you say it nastily to someone. If you call me a Brit, oh, shut up, you stupid Brit. I mean, that's not nasty. If you say,
can I just, obviously, everything you just said there, if you don't mind me interrupting you, can I take you back to my first point, which was having Black Appreciation Day? Now, do you not think that in itself creates racism? Because you sat down there and saying, look, we've now got to say, well done to the Black people. Now, you're talking about something that happened years and years ago, and I'm not saying that their families didn't go through it. I'm not saying that this didn't happen or that we should forget about it. But it's got to come to a point where we've got to think, hold on a minute, you're no different to us. You've got to let it go.
It's terrible, but it weren't us that did it, and it weren't them that happened to, is what you're saying.
I never did it.
I think the best way to punctualize what you're saying is you can't have equality if you celebrate a minority, because then you're not equal.
Do you know what, mate? That should be put on a t-shirt.
And my old man was saying this the other month about job equal opportunities, and not against cultures, against sexes, against sexualities, against every different diversity you can have against human beings. If you look at the brewing industry and say, right, there's not enough women in that industry, you have to employ more women. A man and woman walk into that interview, the woman's got no experience, the man's got 50 years experience, and she gets the job because she's a woman. That's not equality, and that's not fair. She got it because she was a woman, and that's sexist. She got it because she's a woman. He would have got it because he was better qualified, not because he was a man. I mean, and that's where the equality has to make sure it's equal, and not equality doesn't mean 50-50. Equality means treated equally, and there's a very big difference about it.
Obviously, again, you've got to sit in this way, and again, people are probably not going to like what I say, but there is quite a nicety of having a man and a woman, because obviously you've got somebody like Sam Smith coming out there and say that they are a they. There's no such thing as a they. It's okay if he wants to be called a they, but I don't have to call you a they. The same way as it makes no sense that you being a they. If you want to be a they, that's that too. But in the same way as you're saying that you're a they, I don't have to call you a they. I also don't have to call you a man or a woman, but I can call you Sam.
Yeah,
it's your name, and you're quite happy with that, so I'll call you Sam. So in the same ways it all sits down, you can't have this sort of I'm a different gender here, and there's only two genders. You're either male or female. Sometimes it doesn't quite work out. So if you then want to be a lady, and you want to have that treatment to go that way, I'm quite happy to run that way. If you want to be a man on that way, that's fine. Don't try and fucking stick it in between. I'm a microwave. This is how stupid it's starting to get. I'm a microwave. I'm a Jedi. I'm a Lieutenant Gruber left bollock. I'm sorry.
Yeah, again, and what I think you mean is everyone these days wants their own label. Everybody wants to be labelled, but they don't want to be part of that group. So we were looking at LGBTQI. It's LGBTQ plus now because of that many of them. And we're looking at the differences. And there's literally hairline fractures between some of the... Why? Why can't you just... I don't care whether someone classes me as straight, bi, or what. I don't care what you think my categorization is. I don't care what my label is. I sleep with women. I don't sleep with one woman, but I am attracted to women, and that's that. It doesn't matter what the world classes me as. What does it matter if I'm 90% straight, 10% gay? I need a categorization. Why does it matter? Why do you want the government to recognize that for on your phones? Do you really want the government to know that much information about you, or do you want to feel special?
Also know that it's been a proven thing that sit down there. They've been giving kids under the age of 16 gender alignment. You know, the actual. I'm going to come into two bits on this because I've got something else to say about this. But they're getting children and they're changing the sexuality from 16 up to 18, and then getting to 18 and thinking, "I'll tell you what, I didn't quite like what I've done now. I want to go back the other way." It was cool at the time. So my wife sat down there and she's had cancer. She had everything took away. She was 28, so then she had to have the gel of a not testosterone, the estrogen, testosterone that she needs as well to keep her body level, so she don't get bone disease. She's got to go all the way through to Sheffield to Hallamshire Hallam, you know, the Western Park.
Yeah.
Go and get her drugs from there because the doctors won't give it her.
Yeah.
But if you were sat down there getting gender realignment, they can pick it up from the. So my wife's got cancer, or had cancer, but she needs to have that to make sure. But we have to go to Sheffield to get her drugs, but you can have it for a gender realignment. Now I've got no problem about the gender realignment at all. That's down to you, whatever you want to do. I accept who you are, and it's nothing to do with me. But why is my wife sat down there, who's had cancer and had to fought through all this with the kids and everything else, who can't get her drugs there and have to spend to go to Sheffield to get them? It's not fair.
Something that overlaps on what we've just been talking about, and about the rights of people cancelling out each other's rights. There has been a massive movement to get women to cover up. We got rid of the page 3. We got rid of wrestling women. In the brewing industry, they banned explicit women on bar pumps. The iconic Elsie Moat bar pump had to go. It's now a woman driving a plane, rather than. And that origin story was from when American fighter jets used to have the pinup woman. That's where the pinup woman came from. Now, that's because it's degrading to that woman.
That woman.
I don't think Katie Price feels that degraded.
I don't think she would at all.
You know, she decided she wanted to become topless and make lots of money by doing so. So she did box. By you telling her she can't do that, you're degrading her and not allowing her to go topless on page 3 if she wants to.
What? Same about Magic Mike. What's wrong with Magic Mike?
Exactly.
There's plenty of other women's magazines now with men in them doing exactly the same thing. Never talked about, never said, oh, they're underneath their beds now.
Have you ever watched Loose Women before?
Yeah, a little bit, yeah. They do push buttons a little bit as well. And I'll tell you the reason I push my buttons again, there's no equality.
It isn't.
Because there's equality for women, but there's no equality for men.
Yeah, like we said, it's that thing of everything needs to be 50-50, and that's not equality. 50-50 is equality is equal opportunity. The suffragettes fought for equal opportunity, not for 50% of the jobs. Equal opportunity, 50% opportunity. You don't have to. It's going to become a point where you come out of school and go, right, you're male, so you're going to go into that industry because there's not enough men in that industry. Right, you're female, you're going to have to go into that industry. You know what I mean? Where does it end? If you want to become topless on page 3, you should be allowed to do that. If you want to become a female police officer, you should be trained and get your body in a position where you can handle dealing with police situations. You know what I mean? Because like it used to be, where to be a certain height and build to be a police officer. That's not allowed anymore. That was there for a reason. Security. There's West Street Live in Sheffield. They had the best setup for security. They had a tall, lanky kid inside. Stood right at the back corner. He could see everything because he was a tall kid. There were 2 big, scary meatheads at the door. Then there were a little stocky, probably it used to be a paratrooper guy that used to run in, grab you, you're out before you even knew it, and you were hard as shit. That was a perfect setup. But then 4 people aren't equal. They all form the perfect team. But sorry, that tall guy's quit. This little guy wants his job. So then you've got two little guys inside that can't see no one. You know what I mean? Difference.
Yeah, I can see where you're coming from. It's probably not the best way of running it through, but yeah, I can see where you come from. Can I also add to what you're trying to say? What about a woman who wants to be a mum?
What?
What about a woman who wants to actually bring up children?
Obviously.
So you see, they're forgetting about this, with all the equal rights and everything else. Sometimes it's quite nice to sit down there. The husband's going to go in the old-fashioned way, which they say is sexist. So the husband's going to go out and he's going to go to work and he's going to look after his kids as well as his wife on the weekends, but she's going to do most of the work through the week and you're going to help with the feeds and stuff like that. But she wants to be a stay-at-home mum.
Yeah.
She doesn't want to have to put her children into, like going to the public. What am I looking for? Come on, help me, Arlie.
Childcare.
Childminders. She want to put them into childminders. She wants to sit at home and she wants to look after her children. And she wants to, instead of having to go to work, she wants to look after them children, which is a massively full-time job. She don't want to push them off to Auntie Julie, or she don't want to push them off to Grandma Jill. She just wants to sit at home, look after her children, and be what she feels herself. My wife will tell you this, as a woman. Sitting down looking after her children, and you go to work. And I'll tell you what, my wife does a bit of cleaning for Grandma, but we've never really had a job, but we've worked it together. She does more work than I do with the kids, but I go to work and do my bit. We've got no money. We're as skint as everybody else, but my kids have had a full run with me and my family. What's wrong with that?
Exactly. I think what's wrong with that is it's classed as traditional, and these days we don't like traditional because it means outdated. But it comes to exactly what I was saying of equality doesn't mean you are equal. It means you have equal opportunities. And that's all that any activist has ever actually asked for. And then after they finish getting that, people go, let's carry this on and push it further and push it further. And you go, there's a certain point where you've achieved it. And by pushing it further, all you do is make it worse. Because these women that want to become multimillionaire businesswomen, they don't want to stay at home and look after kids, if they don't even want kids, then that's fine. But there's a certain line of you achieving the ability to do that. If you push it any further, you stop the other end of the spectrum being able to do what she wants, because now she has to go out into the workplace and get a job when actually she wants to stay at home and look after kids. I mean, in order for man and woman to be equal, a man and woman should be able to do both. And if a man wants to go out and work and a woman wants to go out and work, but they both want kids, but neither want to look after the kids if they don't want to go in care, then they're not right for each other. They need to find a more suitable partner. And that's how it all works. But I think...
How complicated does this sort of like get? Because you sat there saying, well, who's doing what? Do I give birth to it, or do you give birth to it? Or am I a woman, or am I a man? Or am I, like Mark says, a wheelie bin or a toaster? There's only two ways that it runs.
The only crime of inequality is not giving somebody a job based on their attribute of race or sexuality. And like I was saying earlier, a woman shouldn't get a job because there's women in that industry. She should get the job because she worked her hardest, or the man worked his hardest, and got to be a position where there was a better employable out of the two. Not because, we need more women in the industry, so we'll employ her. That's not fair on the man. It's sexist.
Remember that watch company from Dundee? They were from Dundee, a watch company. And they all went on strike. I think it was like the last strike. I think it was about 95 or something like that. And they went and fought it all. And they were like, they put all the bits together. And it were like a proper watch. That's watch, by the way. And they went on there and they proper fought. But they lost all the job. Well, they all sat there and fought.
A good point that we have to point out is the people that we're talking about that push these to extremes are minority women themselves. It's not all women that want to push these. It's not all men that want to push them. It's not all gay people that want to push. It's not all foreign people that want to push. It's a minority of them people that push and push and push and affect. Like, for example, minority
He's
woman.
my brother, the link. You don't mind him jumping on, do you?
No, of course not.
He's a lot more sensible than me. Solo.
And well, no, I'll send you the link and you can send it in.
Yeah, send it to me and then I'll send it to Mark. What are you doing on Facebook?
Yeah, on Messenger. The fact that he wants to come on now means he's got something to say about it.
Paste. Well, I'm pasting it to you, you div.
No, I don't want to join. I've had enough of WIITH.
You sure? Yeah, I want it as a wanker. But the thing is, do you feel as a man, obviously you're younger than me, do you feel like you're stuck in a situation of like, shit, I don't know what I should say and what I shouldn't say? And
yeah, especially when you've got a reputation to maintain. Because obviously we're in the public eye, there's people that watch us. We have to say what we think is best. We have to be honest. Hello.
Hello. Ollie, that's my big brother.
Hello, big brother.
That's Mark. He was.
We're gonna.
You need to change it into the squarey ones.
Where are they? I can't find. Oh, is it back to them ones?
Yeah, there you go. That makes it a lot more cheesy. So, just want to carry on what we're saying, Mark. Honestly, my name was said, Aidan. We were doing that little box thing there, and then I said, "Have I got a brother?" Didn't it? And then it said Mark.
Weird.
Didn't it say it though, Mark?
We did, yeah.
Tetley was in chat. He'll tell you. He heard it. So yes, we're all about
are you doing with the streaming then, kiddo?
Pardon?
Are you still holding up with the streaming?
Yeah, I've got. We're coming up to time coming up to 7 o'clock, so I've got. See, this is where my brain's got to. I'm reading horror stories earlier, and I just get to a word like okay and be like, shit, what does that say? Finish at 4 o'clock, so 12 hours, 11 hours. Coming up to 10 hours left. I feel like as soon as sun rises, that's it. You wake back up and you carry on. But because we're having political discussions, you don't feel tired anyway, do you?
Bro, he's from Sheffield originally, now he's in Nottingham.
Nice. Well, Tinsley, wasn't it? Around that area.
Yeah, Tinsley, Akenthorpe, Aston, Treaton, all around the Rotherham border, basically.
Whereabouts in Nottingham are you from?
Junction 28. It's Ripley. My shop's in Langley Mill. Which, ironically, talking about all this, was once accused of being the most racist place in Britain.
With it.
But that were more on. I went around Langley at that time, so I don't know. But apparently that were on a bit of dodgy journalism that made it look a lot worse than it were. But I'm not commenting on that. It's strange to move from a very diverse place like Tinsley to a place like Ripley or Langley Mill or something like that, because there is people of different ethnicities, but obviously Tinsley is extremely diverse, and up here is not so diverse, which is quite strange.
Now Mark's 8, nearly 9 years older than me. In our village, we probably only had one. Well, we had two coloured families or black families. We had one from Morocco, which was the Alfides. Then we had the Buns, and I don't think there were that many more that were in our village when because ours were a pit village. So what do you think about diversity, Mark? You know, you sit down there and you think of, especially between women, men. You obviously you've got a lot more in this growing up world than I have.
You're on spot now.
I've been told
50, bro.
if you're not grown up by 50, you don't have to.
Is that a new deal?
That's the new thing. Yeah, if you're not grown up by 50, you don't have to.
I think that's written in the Bible as well. Yeah,
he actually wrote it.
The first page of the Bible.
Oh,
If you don't,
I get breakfast as well.
Morning.
The bit just go.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Enjoyed that. Sorry, I'm getting in front of you.
how do I do that? You just put your hand out shot and
That's all Jan all over.
my button's not working. It doesn't.
Don't be racist.
I think for the lifetime of me being on this planet, I think the best way I can sum it up, and it's really simple. It doesn't matter where you're from. We all strive for the same things. Don't matter what background you are. Your generation wants your next generation to do better than you did.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what they are. You all always want your next generation to do better than what you did. And out of every 5 people, there's always one wanker.
It's true.
That sounds like you've come out like Miss World. It doesn't work that way, though, does it?
Well, see, the problem is the human nature. One, we like to put people in boxes. We like to categorize them. We're terrible for it. We do it all the time. It doesn't matter what walk of life. We always do that. So it's just part of human nature, that bit. But at the end of the day, us human beings, we all want the same things.
Yeah, but if you sit down there and look at, like, again, obviously I'm going to extremes. You look like the gangs of New York and all them other people who are the Crips and all them things. It's not exactly the same as, look, I just want you to make sure that you're okay. Life's not like that, because the thing is, you've got greed, you've got power, you've got people wanting to be above people. It's not like you're going to put your arm around somebody and I'd say, well, I want you to do just as well as I want you to do.
Yeah, but the thing is, though, that's you going to the extremes. You go to a pub across the road from you, and I guarantee you that every bloke and woman in that place are only wanting the same things as you are. They want a good roof over their head, they want food in their bellies, and they want the kids to be better than what they've got.
You know, I once told somebody that was a mariner, and she was drunk, she was an alcohol. But she said, she was talking about when they were on a sub and they sank another sub. And she said, we all cheered after we'd sank it, and we're like, yeah, victory. So then the sub fell into complete silence as we all realised that we just killed a load of people who were doing the exact same job as us. And I think that puts it into perspective of, for example, in an army, then people are only fighting for what they believe, just like the British Army are. So I'm not saying we should stop fighting them because they're only trying to. No, I'm not saying that. But they're fighting for what they believe, just like we're fighting for what we believe.
First World War, when they sat there and stopped at Christmas and they all shook each other's hands and swapped what they had.
Doesn't that just show you how much of a farce it all is?
And that just shows you about humanity. And the First World War, half the people were all related.
They were.
And it was to do with a lot of assassinations, a lot of people getting killed.
Like I say, human nature, you will always get it where You've got the extremes where they want more than what. I mean, let's face it, the world is ruled by greed. It's ruled by money, and it's ruled by power. And it doesn't matter what walk of life you go to, from religion to business, it's all about power and control.
And we also have to remember that the middle 95% will always be ignored. We'll only look at the 5% between the two sides that are standing out because they're screaming IL. Like the stereotypical American, it probably only covers 5-10% of America. Stereotypical British, stereotypical person on disability is that they can work. It's not the case. And it seems like there's a lot of people doing it when actually it's probably only 20% of people that are on disability. The vast majority of the 80% actually supposed to be. I mean, the media and the way human nature is, we perceive it to be a lot bigger of a deal than it is. Because 66 million people in a country, you can't centralize your attention on everything. So it gets picked on the ones that are standing out, and it seems to.
Me and Mark spoke about this for years. We were on last at Summer Vapes together, and we spoke about this years. A lot of the Americans will talk about advocacy to do with vaping, but there's not very many of them will get out of beds and actually go and sort it all out. If you come down to the UK and they started taking vaping away, I think that the majority of the UK vapers will get up and go. So we're going to start moaning about this because being Brits, we moan about stuff. I just feel that the Americans sit there and go, oh, it's not bothering me until they start taking the flavours away.
No, we won't. We'd sit and watch. Quite simply. Look at all the taxes that have been imposed, all the things that have been banned over years. Look at the TV license, for example. Name one person in the UK that's quite happy paying the TV license. What do? We write a new petition every year and it still carries on. We just take it. And do you know the reason we take it? Right, my old man went through France and Spain last year, and he said if you look at people, and then you look at ours, they're all driving around in old cars. All our cars are 10 years old at the most. We've got these nice houses, watching us TVs. We don't really care what's happening. We're far too distracted. And it's true. Every day, more and more of our freedom gets taken away. There's rights get taken away. We get more and more into those little boxes, but no one ever does anything about it.
I'm not being funny, Ollie, but fucking Mark was actually the first TV remote in our house.
Well, blooming what? You're not wrong there. Thankfully, we only have 3 channels.
TV license you shouldn't pay. We're paying for 80% of reruns.
Yeah.
Talking about TV license, do you know what winds me up more than anything else? There is a thing called BBC World. You must have seen it. Yeah. Well, BBC World isn't part of our BBC. It's a private company. Yeah, and what BBC World does, it sells BBC programs overseas. So it sells it to America. Things like Top Gear, Doctor Who, and all that. Like they sell it to America. That money doesn't come back to our BBC. No. That money goes to BBC World. Now that's a program that's been paid by our TV license. That's what really gets me.
So you don't get your money back for what you paid for.
Yeah.
So why am I still watching fucking Porridge? Exactly. We sat down here. We're watching Porridge.
What's wrong with Porridge?
No, it's great. It's a great program, but Mark paid for it.
Open all hours.
Mark didn't pay for it. Mark want that. Mark was a young age at that point. My mum and dad paid for that. So why the fuck are we paying for that again? We're watching Carry On films. Dad's Army. Last at Summer Vapes.
The
good show, by the way.
The last at Summer Vapes were brilliant.
Have you spoken to Adam?
I haven't spoken to him, no.
Dude, he won't talk. I've messaged him a couple of times. He just won't talk. He's smiled at me when he's done his new thing, but he won't talk. So it'd be lovely to get just a bit of a special going.
I would do, yeah.
Aidan, on your review of the this, I hope you really complained about the micro USB, because it's something that really pisses me off these days. Brand new devices come out, still using micro USB.
So you're a Type C moaner.
I'm a Type C moaner.
Don't really bother me, mate. If I'm totally honest with you. Mark, you might say it don't really bother me, mate. You got to think that device is still charging up within 40 minutes.
You know, next week when you buy your new Tesla, and it comes with floppy disk drive. You need to play your music off a floppy disk.
Say that again. Sorry.
Next week when you buy your brand new Tesla and it comes with a floppy disk drive, I mean, it's just not right, is it?
Mate, we sat down here with a fucking Spectrum Plus 2. We've had plenty of floppy disk drives.
Oh, do you know last week I was playing Tekken on the PS1 emulator? Oh,
We had Jasper Prune.
they were here.
Mate, we had Jasper Prune. When me and him first, you got to think, we go back to 88. We were the first ones who watched fucking Red Dwarf. So I'd go for a bath. He'd set the but we don't come here looking for trouble. We just do the Red Dwarf shuffle. We used to set it off to start on the tape, because you actually bought me that tape deck, didn't you, Mark? He bought me the tape deck that's fucking round back.
Aidan, I was talking, you're on about things like that. I was talking to Steve only the other day, and I was saying how lucky we are, because we've gone through no internet. We've seen the internet come around. We've gone from floppy disks, 5-inch floppy disks, to your 4-inch ones, to your cassettes, to your CDs, to streaming, to USBs and everything. We've seen all that throughout how long we've been around.
I'll tell you what, mate. He used to go honestly, he used to go and have a bath, and he used to go, and then we'd be sat there waiting to watch it, honestly, play this game, and then he'd come back and it crashed. We're waiting 25 minutes for it to fucking load.
And you're whining about a micro USB.
Okay, so you
haven't lived, boy.
I think the reason it annoys me most is when they brought the micro USB out, it was supposed to be a universal charger, so they could set pending charges out to save on waste. And then they decided it weren't that efficient because it broke a bit more often than they wanted to, so they were going to use USB-C. And people are still using micro USB. I suppose it's not so bad because they're still cutting down on waste, but you kind of, if you're going to go for a standard, there should be a standard, if you know what I mean. But
if you look at majority of the phones nowadays, they're still not got micro USB-C. You're not talking like the top phones that are coming out. The majority of them still got the fucking other chargers.
Well, I'm not a phone reviewer, am I? that's not my
way, mate, Pro. So mine works on that, but it's I don't think much difference.
Talking about advancements in technology, do you know what the Skylink satellites are for? Do you know the dots that everyone's been watching in the sky that are traveling in a perfect line? Do you know what they're for?
Isn't it for communications?
Well, internet, yeah. Elon Musk, SpaceX, are sending it up, and they reckon that they can do. They're doing 16 to. I don't think it's either 12,000 or 16,000 satellites that'll be in low orbit, basically making a grid across the entire planet. And they reckon at the minute only 50% of the world has internet access. But throughout that, they'll be able to put internet anywhere, including in the middle of the Amazon rainforest. But they also reckon it can be up to 40 times faster than internet that we've got now.
Yeah, but the thing is, though, Afghanistan's got better internet access than we have.
So we've got big mountains.
You'd be surprised how bad our internet is compared to other countries.
Yeah. You look at China and places like that. Stick it on the goat. Stick it on the goat. Run, goat. Run, goat. He's not there filming this goat with his fucking Nokia 5110. Okay, I've got a signal. You know, like Mum used to do. It's all right. I sent text message. Send text message. You can get it now because my arms.
When I first got my first mobile phone, I went with Orange. I mean, this isn't so like millions of years ago or like that. I used to have to go down to the bottom of my garden to send a text message.
That's Orange for you. They got took over by T-Mobile, German company. So you bomb the fuckers, and then all of a sudden you can get better internet now. We're building up, we're gonna have the best internet in the world.
T-Mobile got took over by EE, didn't they? Sure, they did.
I gotta admit though, I think one of the best COVID,
by my lord, come by ye.
One of the best COVID theories was this 5G.
Yeah,
going around, wasn't it? Oh, it's 5G that's caused COVID.
Yeah.
But that's not as almost as you might think. There's been a lot of people that have been putting the masks up that have been assaulted, and the masks have been ripped down, and it probably caused some controversy.
Yeah, but I remember years back they were saying, "Oh, mobile phones are going to microwave your brain."
Yeah. To be fair, that's got more plausibility than 5G causing coronavirus.
Especially in Barnsley. I'm not being funny, half of them had their fucking heads in microwaves for years because there's some of them people I've been around Barnsley and fuck me. I've met Margaret from Barnsley.
Margaret?
She sat there with her dad's shoes on. Wrong feet. Eating tripe.
Not tripe.
Mark, I've never tried tripe. Have you tried tripe?
Yeah, I've tried tripe. Yeah.
It's so easy to say, but not so easy to eat.
It's not, is it?
Ollie, have you ate tripe before?
No.
I don't think I'll go for it.
Yeah. Don't get mixed up. There's two types of tripe and all. One you feed to dogs.
No, you're thinking about trainers. If you got one tribe, that means you got Nick's trainers. If you got two tribes, it's Nike.
I'm a posh dog. I've got Nike. Poor dog has a Dunlop.
Yeah. If you get the Puma, what's he doing now? You can't balance them on there. He's thinking, I'll tell you what, who the fuck are these?
Who have I let on here?
Yeah, I was looking for kick out button.
Yeah. You was going to sleep before this, though.
Yeah. If there's an invite button, where's the fuck off button?
Okay, we've hid that one.
I was going to press leave studio, but I had a feeling that we would leave you live streaming on my channel. That could have really...
Get porn.
Come back in 3 days, you're still there. Oh, it's getting worse. One subscriber left. Oh, shit. Here we go. Oh, well.
Mate, it's killed a bit of time on it.
It has. I've now only got... He's killed half an hour, to be fair.
I can't believe you're up, Mark.
You what, sorry?
I can't believe you're up.
Oh, since this lockdown, my sleep patterns all over the shop.
I've not even been to bed yet.
I haven't been to bed, but I wasn't in there long.
What were in the sandwich?
What was in my sandwich? I had a bacon butty.
Oh.
With egg.
Oh.
How's the fish doing?
They're doing really well. So obviously, I've got to clean it out tomorrow because I'm on the UK vape show. So I need to clean it all out. So.
I need to clean my fish tank out.
Oh, yes. You're on the new show tomorrow, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it tomorrow. It's going to be a good giggle.
Well, I tell you one thing, bro. I wish you were well. I really do.
It's going to be fun. I can't wait for TVP's army to rush in.
Yeah, it's gonna happen, isn't it?
Well, they've left me all alone. So it's.
Well, I think I keep on getting their army coming into mine because they keep on upsetting Chris.
Yeah. Well, obviously we're live here, bro. So we'll not discuss that anymore. Sometimes you forget that you're live.
Yeah, you do.
You might be late in the morning, but we're live.
We are live.
To be fair, I've spent the last 12 hours on my channel just sat there staring at camera thinking, oh, shit. Talked about everything sensible. What can we talk about next?
I tell you what, we've actually done really well. We've done sexism, racism, and also jism.
I did rate well until you came on. Boom!
Mark, we made that loads of times, haven't we?
It's not first time.
There's currently 1,000 people going, I thought Alder were quite a nice lad.
Straight down.
Honestly, we had a really good show with Last at Summer Vapes. He just went all the way down.
Oh, yeah, you had to.
It was his fault bringing his brother on.
You're sorry?
It was your fault bringing your brother on.
Oh, no, that was entertaining.
He clapped.
Logitech C920 liquor.
It's stinks.
There's a blue light.
There's a blue light. Oh, the blue light. Oh, what are you using? Apart from drugs.
The GP3, which the connection plate's coming off.
Oh.
And then I've got the Vigo Elite RDA.
What about your camera?
Is that what you're on about?
Yeah, but don't worry about it. We'll go back to your mods.
Well, you know, to be fair, we're on a vape show. I only sleep for about 40 hours, so let me off.
Okay, bro.
Brand new MSI laptop we got delivered yesterday, and I'm just using my camera built in. That's why I'm shit quality.
No, it's really good.
It's good quality.
No, I don't like it. I plugged it in earlier and went, oh, shit.
Well, no, I mean, I was watching YouTube for a good while, and yeah, it looks all right.
That's because it's half size. That's because there's two of us.
Yeah, mate, that's the best thing as well with me, half size. I've had about 4 Cabana sausages, mate. I'm getting some right bellyache now.
To be fair, I kind of just left it, but there were a weird point during the last 10 minutes where I said, what did you have on your sandwich? And you said, oh, bacon, an egg. How are your fish getting on? I really didn't understand what were happening there, and you two just carried on and let it go.
I'm not being funny, bro. You should have seen him in China or eating a bat.
Bingo, looking good.
You go, Wu-Tang.
Wu-Tang! Oh, well.
For the Ho Chi Minh Trail. So damn hot.
It's so damn hot. Hot pot's cooking.
He's like, fuck it, I went to the bedroom.
Yeah, took me 52 hours.
These two nutters came on.
It's almost like, who would live in a house like this?
I don't know, but it's full of plastic.
It is full of plastic.
Sorry, it was just a dildo. Oh, that's nice. That's nice.
Yeah, thank you. There you go, house. It looks a lot bigger on this camera. I like it. It doesn't look small.
It looks very small on the top, though. I did my head on that lampshade.
That's because you're too close. Back up a bit.
Sorry. Yeah. Oh, now he's going to do a TikTok.
Have either of you got kids?
Yeah, I've got 4 of them.
Oh,
So you understand how much more into it. Look after them, motherfucker. I tell you, you've got kids.
Yeah, we've got 4.
Yeah, I've got 3 that live with me. One that doesn't. She's actually under the stairs waiting for the fucking owl to come. We've been leaving her there since she was 13. Her middle name's Fritz.
Does it work like that? Can you just put them on the stairs with an owl and it magically just happens? Because
I don't really work. They scream after about a couple of hours.
I got my hopes up a bit, man.
But then again, when you've got a dad who looks like Harry Potter, you don't need to get the fucking scar. You can just stick your head in now and again. I will be back.
Well, I've got some Harry Potter glasses upstairs too, the round ones. Interesting.
Make sure you get them. Honestly, stick around and I say.
I'll if we ever do whatever this is again, I'll wear them just for your
Amusement.
Yeah.
You sound like my ex-wife. I used to make her dress up as well. Well, then again, the only thing she could dress up as is the pancake man. Sorry, she don't watch vaping things. I did say ex-wife, not my wife. He's cooking now, because you've actually sat down there with bacon.
Yeah.
He's cooking now.
Yeah, I can't fault him.
So he's now going to turn it into a little bit of Gordon Ramsay.
Today,
it just means you can swear.
I'm going to show you what you can cook.
Okay, we need to angle it down, mate, so we can see your pan.
No, because then you'll know I am actually.
It's a cooking show.
You've got a cardboard cutout and we present it after.
Come dine with me.
I've been there before, mate. It don't normally work out that way. So, what are you doing? Adding a bit of butter?
Having a coffee. Could do something stronger, really. We used to, can't I?
Honestly, Mark's lovely.
Really nice.
So you're actually just making coffee?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're just making. I heard the spoon go in the mug.
Tink.
That classic ting.
Yes, yeah. I thought you were properly going for the full bacon sandwich, didn't you?
Yeah, I'm disappointed, to be honest.
I am, yeah. I wanted to at least cook it.
I hope you've washed your hands.
He never even boiled that. Fucking hell, where do you put? Where's his sink?
Where's his fridge?
He's in downstairs to cellar. Hello. Now you boil, okay?
Now, boiled kettle, and then went back in the other room.
Let's have a look. Let's look how it looks.
We use expensive coffee. My missus is a coffee snob. It's powder type crap rather than granules. We have about 4 different coffee machines. All of each of them use once.
Don't get a Tassimo, they're terrible.
Oh no, we've got one then. We've got
Which one did you got ours one, didn't you?
Yours is a gold shear one because
Yeah.
you can get cheaper coffee that you can, where you can actually afford it.
That's what use it regularly.
Tassimo is like so expensive to get coffee.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, I use it, especially the one because you got the ones where you could put your own coffee in it instead of having the pods. It's brilliant.
We got you the other bits so you can fit it yourself.
Brilliant. I've been tempted to have it up in here.
I'd have it up there.
I'd be right tempted to have it up in here.
That's
As well, let's face it, all I ever drink is black coffee, or should I say Americano?
Americano. Yeah,
Americano.
that's the it's gone. It's gone to death.
One, try not to, don't touch anything. Do not blow up my channel or stupid like no matches. Just behave, yeah. Can't trust you with that.
You certainly can.
Sleep.
What? No, I'm just gonna get some juice, but I don't know whether I'd dare leave you or not.
You can leave us. You can definitely trust us.
Yeah,
we are professionals.
But... Mark, get the porn.
So, are you looking forward to tonight then?
Yeah, a little bit nervous, but it's no different than walking onto when we first did it.
Oh yeah, you're not kidding. But Pud Puffs as well. So you got him.
Yeah,
he's a giggle.
I've been up there 6 times and I've been a guest on it. You're gonna get some little bits of horribleness on it, but I'm quite happy. I'm
looking forward to it because it's kind of like what Vic Turnaround said. It is the same show, but it's different, and it's going to be different.
Well, we sat there and spoke about it. So you're not expecting to have the same sort of chemistry as what it's going to be, as what it was before.
To be honest with you, I think he's picked perfect.
Pud's lovely.
Yeah, he is. I mean, pairing you. I think it'll do Vic a world of good as well.
There's no egos.
Totally. I think it'll be cracking. I'm genuinely looking forward to it because I used to like it when Gwen used to be on.
It's going to be the same sort of, I'm not saying there were loads of egos before, but you've got them set of people which are so. What's the word I'm thinking of? Dean, you've got Mark, you've got they're all
big personalities.
I didn't mean egos, but what I meant
personalities. I would class it as big personalities.
Yeah, where things are going to be a little bit more relaxed.
Which I used to like it when Gwen used to be on, because that's when I used to watch it more than anything else. And it'll be good, especially with you and Pud, because you've got a chemistry anyway.
Yeah, Pud's a right laugh. Well, it's a little bit like us going on there, isn't it?
Oh yeah, totally.
You've got that sort of giggle that you have.
We're
just talking about the UK vape show tomorrow.
I figured. I was too busy looking at the fact that you both look like you've got a set up, and I'm just sat in my living room.
Well, I've got a set up because my brother had a set up.
I had a set up, and when government told me I wasn't allowed to go to my shop anymore. So
you still got your shop though, haven't you?
Yeah, but my car broke down as well, so can't get to my shop. I won't go to my shop at
You still get 10K though. I don't even get that.
Well, that's all right, but I've got 2 businesses inside that shop I have to look after for 6 weeks plus. Rent to pay and everything else. It's not mine, is it? It's for businesses.
Yeah, it's hard work, mate.
It's not. It's lovely. Do I look like I'm working hard? I might look like I haven't slept for a while, but that's not from hard work. It's going to be Saturday all day.
Oh, shit. So what do you do then?
I've got the Imprint, which is it's a new printing company.
It's a what? Sorry,
a new printing company.
Okay.
We do dye printing, so we can print onto like polyester. We do vinyl printing. We can do sign writing. We can do phone cases. Print pretty much anything. And then I've got a vape shop. And that's why I ain't got a setup at home, because I usually do my reviews and everything in front of the plaster chipped wall. It's part of plaster, part of brick. And then, because I was saying earlier, so you've got the plaster and brick wall here, and then behind me you've got a wall with the posters on. If I've collected the vape stickers, and they're slowly making their way down the wall. But I mean, I was saying I opened my shop in beginning of April last year, and I started the YouTube channel at the end of April last year. So I'm still a pretty newbie in regards to having a shop and in reviewing, really.
Yeah.
Noob.
Well, I got made redundant at Christmas. I worked at Tarmac, and I got literally made redundant at Christmas. And fortunately, a good friend of mine who owns a vape shop, well, he owns 3 vape shops, he got me a job literally in the new year. So I've only just started learning the ropes, should we say, of a vape shop. So it's entertaining. I'm enjoying it until this COVID thing happened.
Yeah, the only thing about working in a shop is the people. No, being in a shop's the best job. I've always been in customer service. I've never had a negative customer, if you know what I mean. I used to do event security. Obviously, you got negative people here all the time. I used to work in a cafe. You've got people that come get a sandwich, and they either want to talk or they don't want to talk, and you get arseholes. And people come into a vape shop, they generally want your help. Even if they're a pro, they still want to know what juice you like, what juices sound best. I mean, it's more of a mutual exchange rather than a cafe where you just gain someone some food, and security where you trying to protect them, but they think you're being an arsehole. I mean, security are weird. A bloke once looking dodgy around a car. So we're like, what are we doing? Oh, it's my car. I think we're like Mercedes, like top of the range. So like, well, have you got your keys on you? You what? Oh, you got your keys on you. So he shows his keys. And we're like, okay, sorry. See you later. And you had a right arse on about it. And you're like, tomorrow when someone's hanging about around your car and nicks it, because we didn't stop and ask, have you got the keys for it?
Yeah, they'd be the first one to complain, wouldn't they?
Yeah, exactly. Well, why didn't you say what? Oh, we saw him. We just watched him do it because you told us you didn't want us hassling people around your car, you knob. And that's what I mean about working with people. But in the vape shop, I've in the year that's been open, I don't think I've had any knobhead, shall we say. Everyone's been decent.
Oh, I find it fascinating. I just like helping. So like when you get problems coming in, you know, I've got this tank and it's not working right, and you do your own little magic and show him how to wick it or whatever.
Yeah.
Or you're not putting a coil. That I love doing that. I think it's absolutely brilliant.
Well, I think the best thing is the surprise. Like if someone's only ever had a stock tank, oh, well, try this. And that look on the face, like, wow, the flavour from the RDA, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But this is what we were saying right at the beginning of the stream. That's why I opened. I enjoy running the shop, and that's why I do the reviews, really. Because we had a debate whether we do the reviews to get people off smoking, or why else we do them. And I basically say I do it to help people rather than get people off smoking. There's certain items I review to help people off smoking. But as a whole, like I say, I hadn't reviewed a mech mod, but if I did, it wouldn't be to help people get smoking, would it? It'd be to help people that are looking for mech mod.
Yeah.
But it's just not helping people as a whole. I was saying, because there's quite a lot of times you'll watch a vape review and you don't agree with him. Not necessarily that he's lying, but you have a different opinion. And I do quite often, when I do my reviews, I quite often say, oh, I read online earlier this, or I know some of you are going to disagree, but I think this, which is better because especially you'll have probably heard it in shop. What's the best juice you've got, or well, it depends what you like.
Oh yeah, of course it does.
Vanilla custard's the best juice we've got. I don't like custard. Exactly. And the worst thing I can't stand is someone comes into the shop and says, "I've come to get some juice for my brother." Oh, what does he want? I don't know. Like, I don't know.
I need a call for a tank that looks like that.
Yeah. What's it like? Well, it's glass and metal.
Well, Mark was a manager at a gravel plant, so that his job where he ran everybody coming in, coming out, and then I don't know if he told you I've gone for a weed, but then he sort of like changed his job because he sort of got made redundant. So he now works in a vape shop. So it's sort of different from one side to the other. And the things that he's told me, one person coming, I can't take my tank off here. Where did you get that tank from? Well, I didn't get it from here, but I need you to take it off. It's like,
the typical one is, can I have a colour for that? So like, whoa, what was that? Can I have a colour for that?
Or people will come in and say, have you got, because in regards to glasses, I don't stock glasses. I have a little collection of glasses that just build up. When someone come in, I'll have a glass that'll fit or I won't, yada, yada. Like I say, it's only a small shop and my stock rotates, so I'm not going to have a collection of a glass for every tank. It's not viable. And, you know, have you got a glass for this? Or have you got a drip tip for this? Have you got a spare drip tip? That's quite a common one. What tank? Oh, I can't remember what it's called. Have you got on you? No, it's in car. Why would you walk into a vape shop and leave your vape in the car?
Yeah, I've had that one. Yeah.
If we were walking down the street because we were just quickly nipping to shop and I left my vape at home for some bizarre reason, and you said, let's go in this vape shop, I'd be like, no, let's not. Why? Because I ain't got a vape. I can't go to the vape shop. It's like going to the expo next year.
Do you know one of the best things with our vape shop? The system that he uses is we create accounts, especially if you've bought a hardware, a tank, or you bought a mod or something like that. We actually create an account. It's not all it is, and what is brilliant is because you can see their history.
Yeah.
So you can see what they've bought, because a lot of people do come in, they don't know what the tank's called or what the kit they've actually bought, but we can look and say, you bought that, so it's them coils.
Earlier, I was saying I was a developer. I did build something that never took off, and it quite pissed me off a bit there. I built a database for compatible coils. Now, the database works on the basis of you feel free to contribute whatever compatibility you know of. Then other people can vote on it. So if something's not actually compatible, it'll get downvoted and then eventually deleted.
Where was the song?
Only problem I had with that is when trying to tell people on like Reddit and stuff, we said this list. Why would we need a database when this list is cross-compatible coils? But that's not always true. Like, for example, the cube coils the cube coils fit in the V8. No. Smock V8, baby. Coils fit in the cube tank. But the cube coils don't fit in the Smock V8 because the V8 coils have got a rectangular base, as the OBS cube coils have got a pyramid base, cone base. So they don't fit compatibly across, but one does take the other coil, but the other don't take the other coil. Yeah. So that's when the database comes into more handy than a list, because then you're going to buy an OBS cube coil for your Smock and then realize
actually. When you mean a database, you could actually type in the actual tank or that you've got.
Yeah, it filters by search as well. Yeah,
the coils. I think that's amazing.
Yeah, that's a good idea, really good idea. That, because let's face it, the hardest bit is for any especially brick and mortar store, you can only stock so much.
Exactly.
And
if so, like, you find out that this coil will fit this
comprehensive database of literally, like, especially up to date stock coils, especially. I think you find a lot of shops that use it.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
And reviewers.
So it's got just two buttons that I ask what it has this. Add a compatibility or search field. So if you start searching Freemax, any compatible coil or any brand or tank that starts with free will stay in the field, and everything else will get deleted. Just a filter out search function, really. But feel free to advertise that and push that, because I tried and it didn't work. But you guys do. Well, I don't.
It's a blooming good idea, though, especially for shops.
Well, that's what we did it.
Same thing. We'll have to get, because obviously Mark's got his own show. He's got two shows. He's got home show, which is really good, and then he's also got Tales from the Home. So you have to get you on their live show. We'll get you on ours.
Well, that's when he's been to bed for a bit.
Yeah.
He's had some sleep.
That's why I designed it, because people come into shop and be like, "Oh, I got a coil for this," and I go, "No." And then you'd be sat looking at all coil shapes and sizes, going, "Think that one might, no, too big. Think that one might, too deep." You know what I mean? But if you've got that, you just search it in. And I know he has one.
I'm sure it will fit eventually.
I know somebody that had actually forced it. He'd driven one to make it compatible with a different type of coil. I thought, well, now you can never. Oh, you just buy a different tank, surely.
It never really went that way, was it, Mark? It started happening probably, 2016, 2017, when they started getting more compatible. The other ones just fitted what they fitted, really.
I think it was a nightmare, especially with Smock, though, wasn't it? There was bringing that many different versions of a
Baby
coil.
Beast and
blooming heck, it was terrible.
Were quite all right from Aspire and stuff like that. And then you had Nautilus and stuff. But
I mean, I still say now that the Nautilus BVC coil is probably the best coil out there.
Yeah,
because it's the longest running coil.
The 1.7s are really good. You know, for your Nick salts and stuff like that.
Yeah. I mean, we sell tons of them. Absolutely tons of them. Nautilus.
Yeah. How much you sell them for 5?
For a pack of 5, I think.
Oh, sorry. It comes in 10s, doesn't it? Oh, no, 5.
No, pack of 5s. I think they're 12 quid.
I presume you sell disposable tanks.
Disposable tanks? No, we don't.
We don't, because that's my one key point. If someone comes in that ain't got a coil, or that ain't got a coil for, come back Tuesday, use this till then. Because stuff like the Freemax Gen lasts 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Well, I generally get them for free if I ain't got a coil for them. But even if you sell them at cost, then they're going to come back. We just got 2 weeks for a tank. And the Freemax Gems are quite decent as well.
Yeah,
I know quite people use a tank, they just use a Freemax Gem. Because it costs the same amount as a coil. You can use it, there's many different types, but obviously you can use it up to 80 watts.
If you sit down with a Gen, Freemax Gen, the throwaway bolt, you can get 3 to 4 weeks out of that if you're not using the hard. Easy.
Oh yeah.
I reviewed the kit that you came with it. I reviewed it. You reviewed it as well, didn't you, Mark?
No.
Freemax. I've got it over there.
I've got the Freemax Mesh Pro.
Yeah, we did Pro. We both did Pro. This is like a square kit that it comes with.
The Mesh Pro is my number one vilifying vape. Just purely because it's massively overglorified. I think
it's a full
the lid comes. Why would you redesign it in so many different colours but still not put a button there? Then they brought the Fire Luke out, which is pretty much the exact same tank, and they still didn't put a latch on it. The amount, I used to sell the Freemax Mesh Pro, but now I won't. The Fire Luke's better because it's a bit stiffer on the lid. But the Freemax Mesh Pro, it does differ between the carbon, the metal, and the resin. Some are a little bit tighter, but they're all far too loose to the extent.
That's all right. I've got to admit, the one I've got is fine.
Yeah?
No problem.
Well, I don't trust them.
What do you think's better?
I mean, let's face it, it's either between the Freemax Mesh Pro or Falcon.
Yeah.
Falcon's good.
Falcon King's really good.
See, this is the beauty about vaping. We're all into the same thing. We've all got a different opinion about something. And I think that's what I love about it.
What about the Raptor?
Sorry?
The Raptor.
Yeah, the Raptor were a good tank.
EH Pro again, Horizon Tech, really good. Take all the Falcon coils as well.
One of my top 10 most viewed videos is a comparison video between the UL Crown Mesh Pro and the Horizon Falcon.
Which one?
King, I think. And I did stuff like jumping on trampolines, see if it had come open, which, to be fair, the Mesh Pro didn't actually come open. Which one would cloud the car out most after 20 puffs. Flavor, I got people to taste each one and say which one were best. And I think at the end of it all, they all came out about par.
Well,
the U ground is
one of the biggest things you've got to like A team. I love this. That's the Falcon King.
Yeah.
I just so love that. You press that little tiny button. I just so love it because I'm gadgety. Mark will tell you I'm gadgety.
There's one or two things we do it, and I love it. It's very slick.
And the flavour from this, you can use any Falcon coils or anything that wraps it. I absolutely love it. Mark, I got the Luxem working. Sent me the new. This is proper up your street. This, so you can get for the 18,350. So I'm going to use that as the. This is built for mouth to lung. It's not nothing built like that. I've got the old Avakin CP on there.
Oh, blooming heck!
Gone proper old school on it. So it's taken an 18,650 as it is. How nice that looks. So that's got the old kickboard in it. Can you remember the kickboards? It's a bomb. Yeah. So it's got that in it. So then you take it, but I'm going to use from Asmodus.
All right.
Mate, I can't wait to try and actually, this is more up your street than my street. So it's got literally one airflow, one hole that you won't be able to see it. There's one hole there, not adjustable. You've got no adjustable airflow. So what you've got is the center pin, and you can't even get into it. Can you see? Oh, you won't be able to see. 2 seconds. Let me get this. So it's got like a. Can you see that little curly thing? Yeah. You can't even get to it, Mark.
So do you actually face
so you have to try and get something to move it.
All right.
That's your adjustable airflow. You can't get your fingers in. You can't do anything. So how the hell are you supposed to adjust that?
Yeah. Does it come with different tops?
No, just one.
Is it a cap or is it?
No, it's just like if you looked at like a pin, it's got the little holes at the top, and you move it around up or down how you want it.
All right. So it's sort of like once you've got it to the airflow that you like, that's it. You got to leave it that way.
Yeah, leave it. If you take it out, I don't think you're going to be able to get back in.
All right.
You look at the top as well. You've got your Ultim top. Pull that out, which unscrews, and then you take the. There we go. So you don't take that bit out. You take the, which we all like, a lovely bit of Ultim.
Oh, we love a little bit of pissing.
Come now. You take the top bit out, and you have like a.
You take it out with your teeth.
Out with your teeth. See, that's a review right there. See how they got that top bit? Or you put that top bit in.
All right. And who's that by? Oh, it's Modus.
Would you think you get that from Asmodus?
Well, saying that, was it the Galaxy, something like that, RDA? And that was from Modus. That just looked really bad. It looked like Metal Mickey.
Have you got the new Steam Crave coming?
They sent me an email, blooming out, ages ago.
Yeah, it's on its way. It's like one of those things where they're just going to put it on a ship that just comes. And we'll see when it gets there.
By the looks of it, I saw Vic's what comes in, on his what's up, and he was showing you all different decks. It looks quite interesting.
I don't think I'll get all them decks. They've sent it. Amy sent it, but I don't think I'll get all them decks. I think I'll just get the normal decks that you've got. But
I'm looking forward to seeing the backpack. You know, the Squonker.
Well, I never got the Titan.
Well, I never got the Titan, but because it clicks onto the side. We saw it at Expo in October.
Well, we dealt with it more on Instagram. But then I got an email from her saying, "Would you like to review our products?" And I went, "I already review your products. You're just not answering the message on Instagram." So she was like, "Oh, are you still at this address?" And that's how it went. Because I love the Titan.
Yeah, I'd love a Titan, especially with that backpack.
Come on, stay awake, brother. It's your live.
Yeah, I know. It's just dawned on me. Do you know how I said when sun comes up, you wake up? It's opposite. You've trained me.
So what's coming out that you've seen that you fancy?
It's only to me.
Yeah.
Ollie.
I'm trying to wake you up.
Don't ask me questions. Worst thing to do to wake me up. Nothing. I haven't really been looking at what's up and coming at all, pretty much this year. Hence the not doing it for the next 2 weeks. This is the first review I've done for 2 weeks. I've got that because I'm just behind times completely. Everything, like I say, I'm a newbie anyway. So I'm not as like I said, I'm not in the circles.
Do not say click.
Active. So what?
Don't say click. It's Illuminati.
It's the Illuminati.
I didn't say click. It's circles.
The Illuminati. We're part of the Illuminati.
Hey, it's going on with Teespring.
It's quite embarrassingly, I ain't got a clue what's coming out. I'd like to tell you what I saw at Expo in January, but they weren't out, as you probably heard.
Mate, I didn't even go to that, and I were all set up to go with new bits, but I didn't go because there was that storm.
Yeah.
So it were like all the stuff were cancelled, and Lou went to me, "There's that coronavirus. You're gonna catch it if you go." I didn't go.
Yeah.
No, we went and nobody there. There were a few vape stalls, juice stalls, but that was about it. And everyone was just sat, wondering where everyone were. Which we like to say were obvious where everyone were. They were going to the storm and the coronavirus, which was shame because we were the first one as well, weren't it?
So I paid for it all. Well, in fact, the actual Patreons paid for it. To go down there, woke up in morning, ready to go, and then half the trains have been cancelled, and then Lou's saying about this coronavirus, which you've got to think about it now. What's your thinking?
Do you think after when all this is over and done with, the whole vaping industry is going to have a proper reboot?
No, I think it's going to take off. I'll tell you what. How much have you heard about bad? Apart from obviously a little bit from America, how much bad have you heard about the vape community?
Well, everything seems to have gone very, very quiet. If you look in the news, it's sort of like just rehash of the same stories.
Well, the PD, what is it? They've changed. They've changed it to September instead of May the 19th.
Yeah, that's in America, isn't it? That's for yeah.
There was a story around about it. You'd been able to contract it from vape, weren't they? Coronavirus. Which now has been debunked, and we've said it's no more contagious than you breathing or anything else around other people.
Well, let's face it. I mean, that's just the tinfoil heads trying to. If they're anti-vaping, they're anti-vaping, and they'll try anything to.
Oh yeah.
To drum up a little bit more fear.
Do you know, I told you earlier, you know, like if you ever get anywhere in the world, you need to listen to two people who watch somebody die of snide cigarettes. The way they smoked. It's me and my brother. We watched my mum die because didn't she, bro? Didn't we, bro?
Oh God.
And we watched her actually sit down there, and she drowned to death in her own fluids, in her own lungs. and me and my brother cried. And I'll tell you what, my dad, who smoked just as much she did, changed that day and went to vaping. If my dad didn't do that, he wouldn't be here now. So how can this government or the US say any different that vaping doesn't save lives?
Oh yeah, the UK government, from what I've seen, is pretty on board. Though all their official information on the website is pretty much pro vaping. It talks about how there's no side stream vapor, so you can't passively vape like you can passively smoke.
Passive vaping
and all that. So from a government, I haven't actively seen anything trying to harm vaping. If anything, they seem to be very pro. Let's face it, it's still the NHS's #1 recommended way to quit smoking. I think the UK is very pro vaping.
Don't get me wrong, though. I mean, there's still parts of the UK that isn't.
Oh yeah, there's always going to be in there.
I think that's obviously that you've got a lot. The NHS works as a business, so a lot of them are not in the same as other ones. So one will say that you can vape outside or you can vape inside, and the other will say you can't.
You see, unfortunately, the world watches what America does. That's the biggest problem, and that's why places like India and that lot have gone down the same route as America.
And also that you've got big tobacco, such as like Philip Morris, who sat down there pumping loads of money to the government.
Oh, especially like in the Philippines and things like that, and especially in Asia, that area. Phil Morris is really heavily in there, especially with the IQOS and all that kind of stuff.
Kids sat down there at whatever age, whenever they want to be able to smoke. It's just how they are.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, let's face it, how many times have we been to Expo? And if you go outside, you see all Chinese smoking.
Yeah. It's not just a
you won't believe it, honestly. It's a sight to be seen, because so like 20 minutes ago, you had probably been talking to that same person about this vape product, and they're telling you how good it is and everything, and then you see them out back having a cigarette. And it's so like, whoa.
It's not just them either. It's actually people who are working on the stands. The sat outside there. I think it were a company from Nottingham. I'm going to name the names, but they're from Nottingham. We went there as an expo, didn't we? We were an expo. What were it called? Element? No, not Element.
Oh, the one in Nottingham.
Yeah, we were in all that hall up upstairs.
Yeah, it's where we met Jack Rabbit and them lot.
Jack Rabbit, yeah. And they all smoke.
Wow.
Oh, you'd be well surprised.
Sat there at Expo. Well, it was more the when we got back to Premier Inn, they all smoked.
Yeah. I always remember when I first started vaping, there was a group that was doing, like for real ale.
Uh-huh.
That. What was that called? Was it Cam?
Cam, yeah.
Yeah, I can remember Cam. Well, It was the same thing for vaping, and it was for vaping in pubs. And the company had actually made a range of beer-styled vapes. And they had a meeting up at Mizzen, which is sort of like about 5 miles away from where I live. I thought, I'm going to go. I'm going to go to this. So I get there, we all meet up, and it's sort of like we're all talking about Totally Wicked, because at the time Totally Wicked was the big thing, and we were showing each other's devices and that lot. And then me and this lad were talking. Next minute, the whole group had gone out. And I said, well, where they all gone? Oh, they've gone for a fag. And this were a vape meet.
Oh, wow.
It's all like, yeah, okay.
Can't do that, though.
Never forget it. It was about 2000.
Is that your shop? Turn up, buy some stuff, and go for a fag outside.
It was crazy, honestly. About 2012 it was.
Well, Ollie's got his own shop as well. We're going to have a little trip down.
Yeah, definitely. I can't wait to unlock it.
I will reiterate, it is only a small shop. Not that big.
It don't matter about that.
It's a toy shop, but it is only a very small shop.
It don't matter about that, does it, bro?
No,
You should have seen that vape meet we went to. That was like a small church hall.
it was. Can you remember when they were throwing juice out to the crowd?
You know, and that was when we had 30ml bottles with Nick in it.
Yeah, glass bottles.
Nearly smashed you on the head about 3 times.
Oh, bless.
Mark, I miss them.
What, them small meats? Or glass bottles?
No, them 30ml bottles with juice in them, with Nick in them.
Oh, I miss it totally. You know, I think it's great that we've got round the TPD with short fills, but I don't like it.
It don't taste same.
Mm.
Don't taste same. You're not sitting down there getting the same tasting juice.
No, because let's face it, it'd been steeping however long it was created to you actually getting it. So, yeah.
What do you think?
It's a good thing that we got round it, like I said, round the TPD by having short fills, but
Yeah, but don't forget you can always put quite often a lot, especially with the bigger brands like Nasty. They have the Nick Salt range, and they have the 70-30 range. So you can always use the Nick Salt with the 70-30. Then you're not diluting it. You're actually putting, you know what I mean? You're not putting 10 ml of zero flavour in. You're putting the flavour with the flavour. Never done that before. Because it always
back to the days when you used to be able to get your nicotine in a 30ml bottle. Steeped. It tasted way different.
I remember getting Suicide Bunny. I used to be able to get Suicide Bunny on 120s with nicotine in them.
I can remember 30ml bottles. The only bottle I can actually remember is a glass. I can't remember what they're called. They were aliens, and they're being bought out by Vape GB. Last I knew.
Alien piss.
No. They were gorgeous. They came in a square glass bottle. Dublin juice, I think.
There were a company as well, though, called Alien Piss, weren't they?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they were at Expo.
Alien Piss, something like that.
Don't think I've got any more bottles. I still think the Nova Vape bottle. Have you seen the Nova Vape bottles?
No, fuck it. I can't stand their juice.
Yeah, but I'm on about the bottles.
That one. You've got the original. I know you're an old vapor.
Yeah, that one. Hey, bro, do you want to have a giggle of history? Where is it now? Let's see if I can get it.
You've actually got the Demon Vapor.
No, it's not that one. It's gotta be. I keep old bottles outside of my. Can you remember that one?
Blue Waffle.
Whatever you do not type in Blue Waffle in Google.
We've got some yo juice as well.
So have I.
Yeah, leave it there, empty.
And do you know one of my favourite juices? And you can't buy it anymore. Hang on, Limo.
Oh, yeah.
That were absolutely gorgeous, that. But you can't get it anymore.
We were like with the, what were they called? Not Cloud, what were they called? I used to like Kryptonite. Changed it.
How are you doing with your experiment?
Really good. I've got one to do with it. It's out tomorrow. Some dodgy shit from eBay.
Okay. Yeah, they're the bottles. They're like the Nova Vape bottles, aren't they?
Yeah, I like these bottles. DailyVapes.co.uk. Get over there. They've got some lovely juice. They're going to start doing a bit of sponsor for the show, plus new vaping as well. Go if you need out from new vaping, go and use Little Bro Vapes, and you get 20% off the entire site. new vaping, and then if you want any of the coils as well, obviously when it all goes down, you couldn't get some of these coils. John's had a look at your web page today. What, YouTube?
John?
Devlin, who does proper coils.
Oh, proper coils.
Yeah, he didn't realise you were my brother.
Didn't he?
No.
Oh, man, no.
Talking about eBay, have any of you ever tried any of the deliberately disgusting juices like cheese or Stilton?
Yeah, Mark did we did the chicken tikka.
We've done chicken tikka. I've done bacon.
I did fries.
Bacon was a big thing a few years back. I've tried all sorts. I think the worst juice I've ever tried was what were it called now? Mountain
Badger's piss.
Yeah, honestly, it was vile. It was a honey and tobacco. And vape, it wasn't too bad, but the smell, honestly, it just smelled like a man's urinal. Honestly, it was disgusting.
Believe me, you sat around them a few times.
Honestly, it's just nasty. That was just so nasty. And the room stunk for ages, and I couldn't get rid of it. Honestly, it was just like a dirty, wet dog.
There's a juice.
In my life.
When I first stocked the shop at, it was going cheap. So I thought I'll just buy it. Get on a sale, little corner thing. And somebody that were helping me keep the shop out, don't know who it were, put them in the glass cabinet in like a triangle shape type thing. And I never noticed it until a couple of days later. I thought, oh, why are they there? So I opened one to taste it, and it is completely blank. There's like a 1% flavour mix. Other than that, you vape it, and it's just like vaping pure VG after you've been dripping on a coil all day. Yeah, there's absolutely no to it, but it is actually a brand of liquid. It's obvious reasons why it's on sale, but I'll have to have a look and let you know. It's got this skeleton with a pocket watch and the label. It's a glass bottle with a tincture, but it looks quite nice. And there's a very slight Parma Violet smell about it. The smell is
Parma Violets.
fully weak. Oh, not me. The smell's very weak, and the flavour of the vape is just non-existent.
That always surprises me about you, bro. You like Parma Violets, and I can't stand the smell.
It's just like when we were kids, when we used to have sweeties.
Do you know another juice? And it's a popular juice, and I just don't get it. But I mean, Black Reloaded Zeus.
Yeah, I didn't like it.
People go bananas for it, and I'm thinking, it just stinks awful.
It does, yeah. You know, the reason why that, well, we won't talk about that on a live. I'll keep forgetting we're on a live.
No, honestly, Aidan, I'm on about people that hasn't got a clue of what you were thinking. I don't people from shop, honestly, when they go to shop, they think it's absolutely brilliant.
I don't like it. Well, Ali, brother, I'm going to bed.
Yeah, thank God for that.
Thank God for that. Bro, you can stay on as long as you want to.
No, I'm going to get off. I ain't been to sleep yet.
Ali, I'll probably catch you in a few hours, mate, when I get back up.
Yeah, man. I'll. Thanks for popping by.
I hope I ain't caused you that much trouble.
Probably. We'll see. Luckily, there weren't many people knocking about, so.
You've been a bad boy, bro.
I've not said anything bad. It were all on his own. Talking about them women.
I'm just no commenting.
Love. Mark, it's been lovely to be on a live with you.
Yeah, I'm going to go and grab a couple of hours now.
Yeah, I'm going to...
Well, yeah, I thought you'd go, but yeah, you'd tried to sleep and couldn't.
No, he's had a bacon sandwich, you go back to bed, make a bit of love.
Well, that's what made me think he was staying up, the fact that he had a bacon sandwich. I've never known someone get up just because they can't sleep, have a bacon sandwich, pass through him out of nowhere, and then go right back to bed now. It just doesn't happen, does it?
You see, no, it does. You see, with the cruise, that's what we do.
I mean, what time did I go to bed? I went to bed about 12:30. I got up back up at 1:30.
I don't want to be rude, but can we stop talking about bed? I just feel like taking a piss a little bit.
What a nice fluffy pillow and nice duvet just wrapped up and snuggling.
Come on, Ollie, lay on my breast. Hey, bro, it's been lovely. Thank you very much for letting this on, mate. Hey, we have ruined your entire live stream.
It's been a pleasure. I was planning on, while no one were about, having a quick kip, but you ruined that for me. I'm going to put like my hand on camera and just sleep for a bit. Oh, what happened? I didn't notice.
You've not got long. Honestly, I'll be back up about 11. I'll come and
man.
some shit.
10 hours left. Well, 9 hours.
You've done really well, mate. You've done really well.
You're doing brilliant.
Right.
Big love.
It's been a pleasure.
Marcus Crew, love you, bro.
Love you, bro.
See you later. Bye. Bye.